Hey everybody, Dick here. This is episode 14 of Podcastrophe. And I am joined once again by Mr. Matt Wilcox. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty excited to be here because we're going to talk about some stuff that I like a lot.
Yeah?
Because I'm a nerd.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you are. Talking in the mic a little more.
Okay, sorry.
It's all good.
Can anybody hear me? Can you hear me now? Good. Oh my God, quit pulling away from my face. There we go.
Just
Better.
like every woman. They always pull. Oh, except for the one you landed.
Yeah.
You're married now.
I am.
You are married now. How does that feel?
The same. My life hasn't changed a bit.
I can see that. I can see that. Because, I mean, you guys have been together forever.
We've been together for a few years. So, really, the only difference is her last name is different.
Yeah.
Almost legally now. We just finally got it changed legally.
Dude, I've heard nothing but horror stories about changing the wife's name.
I told her if she wanted, she could keep her own.
Yeah.
I didn't care. I was like, whatever. And she was like, nah. I'm like, whatever.
It's like this is 2017. Like,
you're a strong, independent woman. You don't need no man. That's what I told her.
Yeah. Caitlin Baird says congratulations.
Thank you very much, Caitlin.
I can barely read these comments from all the way over there. So if I just happen to actually read one, feel special because I can barely read that. Honestly, I just saw the C and the length of the word, and I was like, that has to say congratulations. That has to be.
What if it says something like conglomerate?
I used context.
I know.
I'm good like that, I guess.
Context clues, motherfucker. Do you use them?
I'll be at work, and my team leader, she writes out a rotation for 11 different stations, or no, yeah, I think 11 different people, however many stations, whatever. And so like she'll write it out and put it on her desk, and it'll have four or five different quarters for every 2 hours. We switch jobs, and people will be like, I'll like read it from like across the room, and I'll be like, I'll tell this person like, hey, you're on this job next, and they're like, how the fuck can you read that? I was like, literally, I just look at the size of the words, and I know who's who. I can see shapes, so like I'm just like, yep, that's them.
That's a general shape.
Yeah.
Looks familiar to this. Got it.
Of course.
You can read off my phone.
Oh my god. Okay, Nate says, get on that mic. No editing hell. Oh, cool. Thank you. My girlfriend has the comments right here for me.
The power of technology.
The power of technology.
We're not cave people.
So back to your wedding. That was a really fun day. It was it was a small wedding.
Yeah.
Relatively, it wasn't a very large reception.
No,
but
really.
it was still it was more people than the wedding.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, originally we thought we were gonna have like 150 people show up.
Yeah.
And like 50 people didn't show.
So oh wow.
That helped out with food and seating.
Yeah,
quite
definitely.
A bit.
Definitely.
But yeah, kept it kind of small, kept it local. Because I mean, we had it in a church that my grandpa preached at before he passed away.
Yeah.
And then reception is Jeff Schuler. He has a barn in Delphi, in between Delphi and Flora, and it's pretty cheap if you're getting married. Go there.
Yeah, it was a nice barn. I like the atmosphere, the lighting and all that. It was like
they let you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Most of the decorations are already there, like because for the people that were there, you too, they like all the lights that were up top. I didn't have to get on a ladder and put any of that stuff up. It's just automatically there. So, but it's good. It's a good price. Because you hear the horror stories of people spending like $10,000 on their wedding. We didn't spend that total. So
I think we were, when I was engaged and we were planning out the wedding, we were gonna, I can't remember I think it's Thomas Duncan Hall downtown. It's like off of Ferry Street. That's where we were planning on having the reception. No, actually, okay. So originally it was there, and then we were gonna move out to like the Shriner Club on Old 25.
Okay,
coming into Lafayette by that Family Express.
Yep.
I think Joel Henderson suggested that to me. I was like, you know what? That sounds way better. It sounds way cheaper. And but obviously it never went that far. So lucky you. But
she's just like, God, I hate my life.
Oh, great. He's talking about his ex-fiance again. Ugh. Makes me feel great inside. Don't worry, you'll get there.
You'll be a future ex-fiance.
Yeah.
That's what I tell every girl that I talk to now. I'll be like, oh, just wait, you'll be my next ex-wife.
Every girl you talk to?
Yep. Every girl.
Oh,
It's
man.
like, you're my future ex-wife. They're like, what about your wife? I'll be like, I might keep her. I don't know.
I might keep her. She's
That's
the
more
keeper.
her decision than mine.
Yeah.
To be honest.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so yeah, it was the reception was a really good time. I didn't get nearly as drunk as I wanted to. Somebody only had Michelob there.
I'm sorry. That's what her parents wanted. I didn't really care.
Yeah, it was still a good time regardless.
There were some people that got pretty schmammered. Mr. Ryan Cornwall.
Yes. How late did he stay?
I don't know. I just remember when Andrew went to leave, Ryan was supposed to drive him, and it turned in the other way around because Ryan was too busy puking out the passenger side of his car. Gatorade.
Yeah, he had Gatorade. He had Gatorade. Yeah. So, yeah, you thought I was gonna get into a fight.
I was worried about it, and I was mainly just worried about it because I don't want to deal with that shit.
No, it's your wedding day. Of course
Exactly.
not. Of course not. But a fight didn't happen.
Yeah.
We got along.
Yeah, and that's good.
Which I knew we would. I knew we would. Me and Justin. I'll say names. I knew him and I would either get along or we would just avoid each other completely.
That's what I assumed would happen, but I'm also trying to look at it from the worst possible perspective.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
And I'm like, I have this tux. I have it rented. I don't want to get blood on it. That was my main concern. I'm like, I don't want to dirty the tux up by smacking somebody down.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, him and I have been not friends, but we've been cool.
Yeah.
We've been cool.
I mean, that's really all that matters.
Yeah, yeah. I had a good time. This one over here kept trying to get me to dance, and I was like, nah.
It's what you got to do, though, man. I'm out
ain't
there
my
trying
thing.
to smoke cigars, and I get yelled at because I'm not in there dancing.
Oh, yeah, that was super awkward, because
Yeah,
I followed you guys out there, because I was like, cool. Old gang powwow.
Old game powwow.
And
Say that 10 times fast. Old game powwow. Okay, that's
God.
hard to say. I can't say it even like
you
twice.
can talk way faster than me, so I can't. So fast. You're like the Flash of. No, you're not the Flash
No,
of
I'm
talking. I know way faster talkers.
Yeah. I'm not an auctioneer.
But no, yeah. So I followed you guys out there, and Justin, he brought a bunch of cigars for you guys, and mainly the wedding party. And
Yeah.
Of course, I'm the asshole following out there.
Well, it wasn't just you. We had quite a bit of people just randomly walk out there.
And so I followed out there, and Justin's like, I don't think I have enough. And I'm like, that's okay. I'm not going to smoke a cigar.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not into that. I ain't into that.
I don't really smoke. I've smoked a couple cigars, but they've been like really small ones. He bought me, the big one for because I'm the groom, and it was a cool present. I liked it. I mean, I don't know if it was a good cigar or not. I don't really have much to compare it to.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it's a nice gesture, and I'm glad he did it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I don't think you watch these, but thank you.
Who knows?
So.
Who knows? If he doesn't, this is the perfect opportunity to just complete talk shit about him the rest of the 2 hours or however long this
You're
goes.
adopted.
You are a...
No, he's,
Yeah,
he is actually.
He really is adopted now that
Sorry. No, I think me and him we're gonna try and hang out Friday actually, because I'm not in town too often because I do live up in Chicago. For those of you that didn't know that.
Yeah, revert back to whatever the fuck episode he was on. And,
What was that one? Like 8?
Shit. I don't even remember.
I don't know.
I think the episode was called He's Not That Fast.
It might have been.
Nate Phillips, hook us up with a episode number if you can. He usually puts up the statistics in the comments.
Stat me, bro.
Seriously, he's the recall. He's the memory. Yeah, I'll be like, hey, I'll reference something, and he'll just before comments. Oh nope, he's talking about you not talking into the mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, and it was episode 8. You're right.
I'm sorry, I'm not talking in the mic here.
I do need to turn off the monitoring so it doesn't come through the speakers. Yeah, I turned up the gain, so I've been checking out the levels on the mix, and he's coming in pretty fine.
Cool.
He should be all right.
That's good.
Yep, it was episode 8. He's not that fast.
Cool.
Yes.
I'm going to sit like this the rest of the time.
It does have an extender. You can, the mic stand. For those listening, I'm describing this mic stand. It is a long.
I don't think that's what I needed to do. I think I need to do this
it is a rod shape with a circular base, and it extends. This rod extends.
Ooh, goddamn. Fucking noob off Rick and Morty. Oh, goddamn. You're the only one that gets me, noob.
I've barely watched Rick and Morty.
What?
I was watching it a little bit last night.
I fucking love Rick and Morty.
I happened to come across the episode. I was over at my buddy Josh and my tattoo artist Erica's house.
Mm-hmm.
We recorded episode 15.
Mm-hmm.
Time travel. But no, they were already watching Rick and Morty, and I saw this little cloud thing with all these gems, and it was talking. And I was like, "What the fuck is that? God from Futurama?" And I think I'm pretty sure. I guarantee it is. It has to be.
No, actually, but it is like an omnipotent like being.
Omnipotent.
Whatever. Omnipower. Whatever.
Omnipotent.
It's really, really good. All right. And Rick was selling a weapon to an assassin that episode to kill it, and Morty was like, "No, you can't kill it, Rick." And so he had to save him. And then he found out that this being was going to come back to the universe and just destroy it for the shits and giggles. So Morty kills it in the end. It's pretty good.
God.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
No, the best episode of Rick and Morty, in my opinion, is the one with Mr. Meeseeks.
Is that the first Meeseeks episode?
I think there's only one Meeseeks episode.
There is?
I'm pretty sure.
Is that the one where they're trying to where the dad asks to improve his golf game by 2 strokes?
2 strokes, yep.
That was an okay episode.
I love that. It was just for the simple fact of like when Jerry's like, he can't get his golf swing right, and he's talking to Meeseeks, and he's like, "Listen, I just suck." And he's like, "No, Jerry, I'm the one that sucks." Like, this is like one of the best lines ever, and I love that show so much.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Existence is suffering.
What?
That was a Mr. Meeseeks meme.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I think it was either that or it was just a picture of Meeseeks and it says existence is suffering.
Mr. Poopy Butthole's another really good character.
He sounds like it. He sounds like he could cause a rash.
No, he's just like this little like yellow guy with a hat. Then like everyone's just like, "Oh, you're such a good person." He's like, "Oh boy!" I love it so much.
So much excitement. I just punched my mic stand.
Yeah, like the end of the episode is pretty like somber, where something happens to him, and like they're like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry," and he's like, he doesn't want to talk to you right now, but he just wants to say sorry you didn't have any bad memories of him, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, fucking dark.
That is one thing I like about that show is how insanely deep it can get.
Oh yeah, I know.
While still being funny, like
it's a very smart show that is well written. It's a lot like Futurama in my opinion, except a little bit more crude.
Oh, definitely.
Futurama was one of those shows that told a really good story, was really smart about telling stories, and was also able to make it feel.
Yeah, I love that about Futurama.
I mean, everybody thinks about the Seymour episode.
Yeah,
that's probably the one that comes to mind the most. But actually, I just saw one last night. Was the common cold. I don't know if you know that episode. Fry catches the cold in the future, and it had been eradicated by that point. So everybody just gets sick, and they're like, "We're gonna die."
Yeah. So it had been eradicated.
Yeah.
And so no one has like any. But it's a common cold. So is that a virus?
Well, they were freaking out about it.
Okay.
And they're like, and Fry was like remembering about his childhood about an experiment for a science fair there where a cold vaccine got shot into space. And it wasn't his experiment. He wanted to send his guinea pig up into space. And he ended up not winning, but the cold vaccine was in space. They found it, and they cured everybody. And then it went to like a tender moment between him and his dad, because his dad always used to give him shit. But he's like, "Listen, you're just going to be able to like do things that I've never really even thought about, I can't even fathom. And you're going to be able to handle them better than me. And it's a touching father-son moment. They have all kinds of things like that in Futurama. And Rick and Morty can kind of do the same thing. The Unity episode with Rick and Morty is a good one that does that. So, yeah, it's a good show. I like it. Watch it. If you haven't watched it, watch Rick and Morty.
Yes. I need to watch it again because I started watching it earlier this year via the Fire Stick, and I just stopped because I found myself like being on my phone more, and now I'm not on my phone as much now.
That's what happened with me.
As hard as that is to believe for some people, but I actually watch stuff now. That was one reason I never finished Attack on Titan.
I never even started that show
because I refused to watch the American dub version because I heard it's just not as good. The voice acting isn't as good. So in order to watch the Japanese version, I actually have to pay attention and read the subtitles to know what the fuck is going on. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of yelling and people exploding and dying, and I'm just on my phone.
Makes me think of Dragon Ball Super, where it's just like Goku. It's just like it's like, Jesus, calm down, man,
bruh.
No, I was the same way with One Punch Man.
Yeah,
I was told, do not watch the American dub version, just watch the Japanese. So I watched One Punch Man. I'm not a huge anime guy.
I'm not either.
But I love One Punch Man so freaking much because he is not like any other anime. Just, he's ridiculous. It's just so funny. And just a good show. Watch that one too. Watch all the shows I tell you to watch.
Watch all of the shows.
Now, back to what you were saying about how you're on your phone more. That's how I was towards the end of Arrow. Like on Netflix, like probably from about season 4 on, I would spend most of my time just playing like Tetris and Solitaire on my phone. And then like when it started to get towards the season finales, then I'm like, all right, shit's picking up.
Yeah, so, of course.
But
which it really picked up at the end of Arrow season 5.
Yeah, it really did. Shit hit the fan. But
just wait till you see the aftermath.
That's when when season 5 ended on Netflix, and I don't have season 6.
I know. Okay, so
I was just like, what the fuck kind of season finale ending is that?
I was current, so I was watching it as it was going on TV, and so like I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit! Spoiler alert. I was like, I had to give some space.
Oh yeah, I know.
For people to be
exactly
like, what the fuck?
No.
But spoiler alert, I was like, they're on an island, and the whole fucking island just explodes.
Everyone's on the island,
and literally the entire cast of Arrow, minus Oliver and spoiler alert,
William.
and his son, William, they're on a boat, and the whole island explodes, and everybody's on it.
Yeah. And then you're just like, are they dead?
And I was like, oh my god, what are they? How was there a season 6?
Yeah.
Everybody is dead. Everyone.
What is DC's
dead.
obsession with making superheroes' voice sound like Christian Bale's Batman?
Yeah.
Like, why does Arrow talk like that? I mean, I understand he's got to mask his voice.
He does kind of have like a voice modulator too, I think.
But like,
it's not as bad. It's not quite like the Batfleck voice modulator.
Batfleck.
What?
Geely. What's your superpower? I'm rich.
Geely.
Yeah. But no, Arrow, that's what I kind of started with Arrow.
Have you ever seen the movie Geely?
No, I refused because
everybody
super
does.
Bad. That's the one with him and Jennifer.
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, couldn't think of her last. I kept wanting to say Jennifer Lawrence. That's not it. It's Lopez.
Apparently, she's on an acting hiatus.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
None of her movies are good.
What?
I think she's overrated. I'm sorry. Like, I enjoyed Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah, I love that movie.
I thought that was a pretty good one. But as far as like her being like one of the main marketing things for like the new X-Men trilogy, I was just like over it.
She played an okay Mystique.
She played an okay Mystique, but I don't know. I was kind of against her being like this anti-hero instead of her being a villain like she's supposed to be a villain. I mean, granted, I guess I'm not too familiar with X-Men comic books.
I'm not either.
So, just from what my knowledge of her from like the '90s cartoon was,
She was a villain.
she was a villain who tried to fuck Wolverine a lot.
I mean, who wouldn't?
I'd fuck Hugh
I'd fuck
Jackman.
Wolverine. I'd
He's
fuck
a huge,
any
he's a
version
huge
of
jacked
Wolverine.
man.
Any version of Wolverine, I'd
Yeah.
put my penis in. Or no, he wouldn't let me do that.
No,
I would let him. Do
You're
that
the
to
bitch
me.
of that relationship. You realize that?
It's there's no possible way he's letting me insert.
No, please.
No.
But yeah, no, I did that with Arrow of like I'm on my phone, and then I started watching Punisher.
How long ago did you start Arrow?
How long ago did I start Arrow? Probably about 2-3 weeks ago.
Okay, so you're done with Arrow.
Yeah. Here's my thing when I start a show. I watch that shit.
Yeah.
I burn through it as fast as possible, unless I have to watch it with a wife.
Yeah.
But luckily she's like
How does that feel to say?
awkward, weird. It's like different.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just finally got used to saying fiance. And then it's like...
I know, when I was engaged, like I always referred to her as my girlfriend.
Yeah, no, it's just weird. So, still getting used to it. It's not as weird as it was like, the first like week after, where like you're talking to people and they're like, "Oh, how's your husband or wife or whatever?" And you're just like, yeah, no, it's not as bad, but still getting used to it.
I can't wait for you to start Flash.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch Flash. I am pretty nervous about it. Kind of like what we talked about before, though, how it's, a little bit more, I don't want to say kiddie.
It's a lot more lighthearted.
Yeah, that's good. Oh my god!
But the heavy moments are excellent.
And that fits the character of Flash. He's a
Yes.
lighthearted character, and I'm excited. I'm excited to watch it, but I'm also a bit nervous because some of it's kind of cheesy. It was some of it was pretty cheesy on Arrow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just wait, because they bring it with the D-list villains. Let me tell you. And the D-list side character, like...
Oh, I'm bad.
But no, you'll fall in love with Flash. I absolutely love that fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
Grant Gustin, awesome Barry Allen.
Yeah.
The guy... So they got, what's his name from Ed? Remember that show, Ed?
No.
Oh, I can't remember his fucking name right now, but he's in it.
Okay.
He's the main character, and they keep finding ways, no matter how many times. No, he keeps coming back. He never leaves the show, and it's amazing. But no, so Reverse Flash. He is obviously a part of the Flash universe.
Oh yeah.
And he's one of the best villains I know.
Well, he has to be one of the best villains because, the Flashpoint Paradox is such a big thing in the DC universe now. And I'm pretty sure, just going off of what I saw in Arrow, apparently it's a big thing in the whole Arrowverse, too.
Yeah. Yeah, the CW, they really did a good job of, interweaving all the shows,
yeah.
making things that happen in one show, even despite the fact that they don't even mention it in another show, you can see the effects.
Yeah.
Take
exactly.
place.
And the characters are all pretty well written from just watching Arrow, including all the really crappy side characters / sidekicks, whatever you want to call them.
I really hate the sidekicks.
I really do too, but
I can't stand them.
like we talked about Wild Dog.
Oh yeah, Wild Dog. I called him Mad Dog
Yeah.
earlier.
We talked about Wild Dog.
I can't fucking stand him.
But I couldn't either, and then all of a sudden they showed his backstory of what kind of happened, and I felt a little bit more compassion towards him, so it's pretty good.
I still hate him.
I still kind of get annoyed by him,
I can't stand
too.
his personality, I guess.
I can't stand Curtis on freaking Arrow.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I get it, you're gay, all right?
Yes. Yes. You're a gay black man.
Whatever.
Yeah.
What does this have to do with you being a superhero, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But I really don't like the side characters, but they did a good job introducing them and kind of giving them actual backstories. Just makes you wonder why they can't do that in the movies. But we'll talk about that.
Oh, we will. So, as you're saying, you moved on to another show.
Oh, The Punisher.
And don't spoil the.
I will not spoil anything.
I'm only up to episode. My next episode is episode 10.
Episode 12, to me, is probably the best episode. because it really shows kind of like who the Punisher is.
Mm-hmm.
The series started off slow for me.
It really did.
It took me probably about till episode 4 is when I was really like, okay, I'm getting into this now. But at the beginning, I was just kind of like, what's the hype about this show? And then by the end of it, I'm like,
is John Bernthal as the Punisher.
exactly. That's really what it was. It was like, oh my god, it's fucking Shane, bro.
He was awesome in Daredevil in the Daredevil.
See, I haven't watched Daredevil.
Oh,
Yeah, no. See, I haven't watched any of the Marvel
watch
shows.
Daredevil before you watch. You've already finished Punisher.
Yeah, I've already finished Punisher.
I mean, the cool thing is, you don't need to watch Daredevil.
Yeah,
But it's really cool because that's where he's introduced.
yeah. What is it? Season 2?
Yeah. So you gotta go through a whole season of Daredevil, which is okay because it's really good.
Yeah, I think I've heard Daredevil's really good, and then The Punisher seriously is one of the best shows I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All the other Marvel Netflix shows. And
I heard they're
Jessica Jones was really good.
I see. I have no desire because I don't like that actress.
Yeah, she's okay.
I hated her from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, she's okay. But I started watching Luke Cage. Couldn't get into it. Didn't bother with Iron Fist.
I heard Luke Cage is probably the best one besides Daredevil, probably Punisher. Now Punisher's probably number 1.
Oh,
If Punisher ended off like this season, just they did kind of like a mini series of 13 episodes, I would be very happy with that.
yeah.
Because that's one thing I don't like with shows is when they just kind of overrun their course, which is where The Walking Dead is starting to run into.
But the thing is, Walking Dead has stuff to back it up. They have comics.
It's true, but
honestly, they're only in the show. Nate Phillips and Brandon Stone are probably gonna tear me apart for this, but rough. Okay, so Negan is introduced in issue 100 of The Walking Dead. I know that at least from talking to them. Not Wikipedia. And
hey, Wikipedia is a great website.
It is. But so I think in the show they are roughly around issue 120, 130. I don't know. The next issue is 175.
Yep.
And so they have all that to cover still.
I look at when I watch The Walking Dead. I'm a season behind. I just finished season 7. I haven't got to see any of season 8 so far.
And season 7 was really good.
Yeah, season 6 was kind of like eh.
Yeah, but it picked up at the
end.
And
then they picked up at the end when they introduced Negan. Then 7 was pretty good. But I'm at a point where I'm like, after this whole Negan thing goes on, because I look up all spoilers about comic books and whatever.
So you know what happens.
So I pretty much know what happens with Negan, in the comics at least.
Yeah.
So after this Negan thing goes on, where do they go from here? And like, it's been a while since I read what it was through their like the Walking Dead wiki, but to me, it's like it's getting repetitive on the show.
It's like, oh, yep, we're surviving. Oh shit, our hometown got fucking knocked out. I guess we got to find a new one.
Yeah.
Oh, guess we're struggling some more. Oh, there's a bad guy.
Yeah.
And he's gonna fuck us up for like an entire season, but we're gonna win.
I just think. I think what's helping Walking Dead right now is the very strong acting from what is it, Andrew Lincoln, and then Jeffrey
Dean Morgan.
Yes, so good.
Oh my god, JDM,
he's so good.
Love that fucking actor.
I fell in love with him when he played the comedian in the Watchmen movie. Which, if you watch the Watchmen and then you compare him to Negan, they're like the same exact character.
Yeah.
The comedian is just a little bit more sadistic in a sense of like, I just kill because it's funny. Whereas Negan is like, I kill to prove a point.
I kill to prove a point. I kill to prove that I'm the fucking man.
Yeah.
I am the shit, and you're gonna fucking put your nose in it.
Mm-hmm. But I just see The Walking Dead probably ending within the next 2 seasons. That's my theory. That's my opinion.
I could see that,
I see it ending with Negan. They have kind of one more threat. They neutralize that, and then it ends. And my theory on it ending is Carl is Old Man Carl.
Okay.
Telling the story.
That'd be neat. So, like, since I know what happens, and I vaguely know what happens after the whole Negan thing. So obviously they can't change that.
Yeah,
that is way too big to change after Negan. So, spoiler alert. All right, so Negan doesn't die.
Yeah, I
He's
know.
not going to die. And then he basically ends up working with them. He's not...
But the show doesn't necessarily have to follow the comics.
But that's too big of a plot to completely ignore.
I don't know if it is, though.
To change and ignore.
I don't...
Because he's such a big... He plays such a big role in, like, Rick's character.
Mm-hmm.
Past the fight.
I love Rick. Rick is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Carl.
I hated him for so long. Like,
I've always loved Rick.
I've gone back and forth on him.
I've loved Rick since day one. I'm like, he just gets more and more badass.
Yeah, he like when that animal side of him comes out, when that fucking psycho comes out, it's like shit.
Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
Like that fucking moment.
What is it? Season 4. When like these like guys like
yeah, I was about to, that's what I was about to bring up.
The posse like is holding like them hostage and they grab Carl. He like bites a guy's trachea out.
Yeah, he straight up. Yeah, I was like, that's the animal side. I was fucking talking about.
And like he looks at Carl's like, "Are you all right, Carl?" And, you know, he's got the blood all over his face and his beard. I'm just like, "You're a fucking man."
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I love Rick Grimes.
And then later on, like after everything goes down, he's like, "I will kill you."
Mm-hmm.
It won't be today. Might not be tomorrow or the next week, but I will kill you.
I like how he the Terminus people.
Yeah,
he told him he's got the red hatchet or the machete. What was it? Machete, red machete. And he's like, told him what was in the bag, and he's like, "Yeah, that red machete, and I'm going to use that to kill you."
Yep.
Kept his promise too. Spoiler alert.
Oh man, I loved it because we were the second episode of this show, Podcastrophe episode 2. It was we were talking about Game of Thrones season 7.
That's a show I need to get into.
I thought you already were into.
No, I have not watched any Game of Thrones.
Because every meme I've ever posted, you've liked it.
It's just because they're funny.
They're funnier if you fucking watch the show.
I understand. I
understand.
You want to know what I know about Game of Thrones? It is basically the South Park episode of Black Friday. That's pretty much my Game of Thrones knowledge.
I have no idea what you're talking about because I'm not current on South Park.
This is a few seasons back. You need to watch. It was after the Red Wedding.
Okay.
I want to say it was probably the season after the Red Wedding. South Park's episode for Black Friday. It was one of those 3-part episodes.
Oh shit.
And they kept making fun of Game of Thrones, and it was basically the console wars: Xbox One versus PS4.
Yeah.
And it was so fucking like Bill Gates is fucking tatted up like a fucking gang member, and it was just ridiculous. But all I know is like Cartman is like always walking people in this old lady's garden, and she's like, "Get out of my garden." He's like, "Hey, fuck you, we're talking." But like that's pretty much all I know about Game of Thrones. You know, you have all the people fighting for this one person's throne.
Yeah.
You know, I know the basic story. I know the chick is like, "I have dragons," and then the other guy's like, "I'm Jon Snow," or whatever his fucking name is.
I'm Jon Snow. I know nothing.
Pretty much. But I will rule this land.
Actually, he doesn't want to rule the land. But he's a really good character. So I made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Jon Snow. Everybody keeps telling me I know nothing.
Yeah.
Because that's the line from the love interest. She goes, "You know nothing, Jon Snow." But back to what I was saying. Episode 2 of Podcastrophe, we talked about Game of Thrones season 7, and like it's a 2-hour podcast, typical running time for my show.
Yeah,
and like an hour and 20 minutes into it, I say, "Oh, by the way, spoiler alert!" Like.
Sorry about this previous hour 20. Erase your memory.
Yeah, my bad.
I'm gonna Men in Black you.
I was like, spoiler alert, and everybody just busts out laughing.
Yeah,
that you just made me think of that. You're like, spoiler alert.
But yeah, it's a show I need to get into. I want to, but I just have so many other shows. I'm like, I should probably watch that since I have them more readily available.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were talking about The Punisher before. Watch The Punisher.
Watch The Punisher.
So good.
So good.
Yes. Very good.
I can't wait to finish it.
The casting is perfect on that show. The show reminds me a lot of the movie American Sniper.
Yeah. See, what I've liked about the show is it's handled the Punisher in a very different way than it has in the past. Like, when I think the Punisher, I think the Thomas Jane movie, obviously. Yep. And he was a special forces, like FBI.
Yeah, he was a cop that I think maybe a DEA agent even.
He was a cop.
Yeah.
But this Punisher is a soldier.
Yes.
And he eventually went into an elite group of soldiers. He's a former U.S. Marine.
Spoiler alert.
And so the show obviously it calls back to those moments in Iraq and Afghanistan. Yep. And it also covers this support group, this veteran support group. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of dealing with PTSD.
Yes,
especially with one of the characters.
Yes, that's what I really liked about the show.
Like you sit there and watch this, like they keep following this character. Like are they just like really trying to drive this whole like veterans matter, PTSD matters thing home? And I mean, obviously they still are. Before I get to my point, but eventually this character becomes way bigger. Yeah. Then you're just like, oh shit, that's why they've been following him and showing his slow deterioration, mental deterioration.
Like I said, it put the movie American Sniper into a much bigger perspective too. Because I don't know if any of you have seen the movie.
I've seen it,
but they talk about the Punisher. They called their unit the Punishers.
Yeah.
Because they were really, one of their guys was really into the comic book, The Punisher. And then as I watch this series, it keeps like reminding me of that. Yeah. You know, there's so many parallels. You know, they're all soldiers, special ops soldiers. You know, these guys are dealing with very hard issues of post-traumatic stress disorder, which is a very serious issue that I don't think gets addressed too much.
No.
And the way they handled it, I thought was amazing. Because it showed just how big of an issue it is for, you know, these guys that come back and have this problem.
Yeah, and one thing I liked about American Sniper was the fact that, like, when he was home, he didn't feel right.
Yep.
And so he just kept going back over because that's where he felt.
And they show that parallel in Punisher. And John was amazing. He's ridiculously talented as an actor. He's, I think, you know, when he got the role of Shane on Walking Dead, really opened things up for him and showed just kind of what he can do.
Before that, he was like, what, Rico on How I Met Your Mother?
Pretty much, just shit like that.
From episode, like, whatever.
And now, like, now he's like one of those guys, when you see him, you're like, holy shit, he's in this?
Yeah. I remember I was watching The Accountant, and I saw him, and I was like, fuck!
Yeah.
Shane!
Well, like
John Bernthal.
He's in Wolf of Wall Street too.
Is he?
Yeah.
Who is he in that?
He plays like some. I don't even remember. But
it's been a while since I saw.
Yeah,
that
it's been so long since I've seen Wolf of Wall Street. But I mean, like, he plays in a bunch of movies now. You know, it really opened up his career, and then like he gets this role, and I think it shows that he can carry a show.
Yeah.
Because this role for him especially, he's an actor that can show intensity.
Yes,
he can. He can be mean and very brutal, and this role was perfect for him. And I don't even know what other praises I can give it other than give this goddamn show an Emmy.
Oh, definitely. Oh man, so Brandon Stone of Journey into Comics, Game Addicts, all the others. I think he's only on those two and Journey into Wrestling. So
brother,
he has this. He does this impression, and he got it from one of Kevin Smith's podcasts. I think
the Fat Man in Batman?
Fat Man on Batman. And they were talking about Walking Dead, and they were talking about Shane. And he's like, you can't protect him, Rick! And then, like, so John Bernthal comes on as Punisher on Daredevil, and, like, the whole Daredevil is trying to protect his city or his part of the city and all that. And
good old like, Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, and he's like, can't protect him, Matt. it's like such a it's a cool parallel.
Yeah.
Can't protect, can't save him, Rick.
That was like one of the most intense scenes on Walking Dead.
Oh yeah,
was the confrontation between Rick and Shane
at
the end of season 2. Everybody talks shit about season 2. because they're like, oh, all they're at is Herschel's farm. There's a lot of story
There is a lot
at
of story.
that farm. And if you do not appreciate it, you are very just narrow as far as like, I just want to see action and blood.
Yeah, a lot of people fell off with that.
Yeah. I don't know how many people told me, oh, I stopped watching season 2. I got bored. How?
Yeah.
If you
Especially
paid-
the mid-season.
Yeah.
The mid-season finale with little girl, Carol's daughter.
Yeah.
Fucking walking out of the barn. You're just like, I'm getting chills. Look at that.
You get
Fucking
chills.
Hardcore chills.
And then like
Spidey sense.
I think who was it? I think it was Shane that just fucking shot her.
No, Rick did.
Was it Rick?
Rick walks up to her and shoots her.
Because I for a second I thought Rick maybe he couldn't do it, and Shane
No,
just went
Shane was the one going nuts because he knew about the barn and everything.
Yeah, I knew
it.
he went nuts.
And so he just fucking he just fucking rips apart that fucking gate or the door, barn door, and fucking they just all come out.
Yeah, because he wanted to show Herschel that these are not people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was into season 2 was fucking intense. Because that's kind of when you start to see the evolution of Rick deteriorate from, I am the leader of this group, but I want everybody to have a say to, I'm in charge.
Yeah.
And then from there on, he turns more and more to the governor. And now he's even taking a step further and kind of going towards Negan. But yeah,
That was also the scene where they discovered that just because you kill someone, like once people are dead, just because they haven't been bitten, they can turn.
well, they talked about it in season 1.
Did they?
Everybody was infected when they were at the, what is it called, the CDC.
Yeah.
They talked about it at the end of season 1, how the virus lives in everybody.
Okay. I don't remember that.
Because the scientist showed them after his wife died, she turned into a walker, a zombie, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And then they put a bullet in her head. However, that was through an MRI machine or an X-ray. Shane was the first one to ever get killed, then come back as a walker, and then Carl busted a cap in his ass.
Yep.
Did. Carl. Fucking love Rick. But yeah, great actor. Punisher is amazing. Walking Dead's amazing.
Walking Dead is amazing.
Yep.
Have you watched Fear the Walking Dead?
No, I was actually going to ask you. Do you think they're going to do a crossover? Because
they for this season, the current season,
they just introduced Morgan, right?
No.
I thought I saw something like that on Facebook, so that's why I said that.
Morgan's definitely in it.
So
they introduced him, in they reintroduced him, I think, in season 5 or 6.
Yep.
But
he came back.
No, so Fear the Walking Dead, I watched, I think, at least half of the first season, and then I stopped. Well, because I was living in Delphi at my dad's, and then I moved to Lafayette, and I didn't have internet for the first month.
Yeah.
And so I just stopped watching it, and then I never picked it back up.
I hear it's good. I don't hear it's as good. I hear it's not
better.
as good as The Walking Dead, but I hear it has gotten better.
It's gotten way better.
It's a show I'll probably get into, but it'll have to be when I get back into Walking Dead, which won't probably be until next year.
I wish they would just put it on Netflix. I mean, they have The Walking Dead on Netflix. Why can't they have Fear the Walking Dead?
I think Fear is on Hulu.
It is.
Yeah, so luckily I got both. So that helps.
Yeah, one cool thing I did see about Fear the Walking Dead, because Fear the Walking Dead takes place at the very beginning, and on a completely different side of the country.
Yeah, it's in
it's in LA,
California, on the West Coast, around the Mexican border, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, one of the first confrontations with a walker.
Was it Bill Murray?
No, no. One of the first confrontations with a walker. One of the main characters, she's trying to kill him, and you got to think, these walkers are completely different from the Walking Dead walkers, because those walkers have been around for years, just deteriorating. They're a little bruised.
A little
they're bruised. They're
Yeah.
bruised. Some bruised peaches and tomatoes.
Yeah.
They squish pretty easy.
There's a good YouTube channel called Film Theorist,
Yeah.
and they kind of talked about The Walking Dead and how scientifically it would be ending soon, and they show how the show is extending it because it's like season 7 takes place over just like 1 or 2 days or however many days.
Yeah.
Whereas like, and they keep going up north to colder environments. And like he goes through like the whole like decomposition stage of the human body, and how like if they would have just stayed in Atlanta, probably all the walkers would be dead by now.
Of course.
And it's just like, damn it, Rick, you're fucking up. But yeah, I haven't watched
watching.
Fear of the Walking Dead.
I need to
into
get
it.
back to it, but keep watching The Walking Dead. Season 8 has been really good so far.
Yeah, they're about to have their mid-season finale, right?
2 more episodes.
Yeah, so, and then they'll have, again, they won't put season 8 on Netflix, which is my medium of watching it, until like next September, and I'll just cry, and then I'll burn through all those episodes in 2 days.
Yeah,
and wait for another year.
of course. Yeah, so I've been watching via Fire Stick, and so on the list of episodes, it has past where we actually are.
Mm-hmm.
So and then it actually has like episode descriptions too. So I kind of, and of course, me being me, I had to look.
I have to do the same thing. I always like go through and I just read
On
the
Netflix.
descriptions on every episode, and I'm like 4 seasons ahead, and I'm just like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, right. Who the fuck is Frankie?
I guess I'll find out.
Yeah.
Go scroll back up, play.
Yep. So I'm reading the comments on live right now, but the thing. So it's come to my attention recently that since I'm live streaming this, I want to talk to you guys on the live stream, because my audience in the live stream is different from my audience on the network.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody listens. But so I've had several people come up to me and say, "Hey, dude, I love your podcast." I'm like, "Awesome, you listen?" Like, "Oh no, we watched." I was like, yeah. They're like, "Yeah, we watched the video, the live stream," and I'm like, "Oh, so you haven't listened?" I mean, essentially you are, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I've only done, by that point when it was said to me, I've only done 3 live streams.
Yeah.
That's only 3 episodes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is episode 14. We're recording. That's 10 episodes you haven't heard of great content. So for those watching, if you are interested in the show, if you like the show, there is more than just this. We're on iTunes, we're on Podbean, we're on Google Play, Stitcher Radio, all over the place. We have a Patreon. You can listen to us there if you pay us $1 a month.
Give them money.
And you get, give us money. If
it helps the channel. It helps everything. It gives them better equipment.
For $1, you get early access to every show on the network.
Bam.
That's damn near 10 shows. Every show, as soon as they're edited and ready to go, you get to hear it. If you want more, we have bonus content every month for $3. That's just $2 more than the early access tier.
You guys should start doing like merch.
Eventually, yeah. I plan on it for my podcast.
I think you should.
Because
like what you how many channels you got on it? It's like what Journey into Comics.
Okay, so let's list them off here, shall we? Mid podcast plug. Okay, so we have Podcastrophe. We have the mother podcast, which is Journey into Comics, at which the network is named after Journey into Comics Network. We have Journey into Wrestling, Butt Stuff, The Poor Rapport, Brews with Dudes. I'm also a pretty big part of Brews with Dudes. That one's a fun one. I like.
I've seen a couple of those. Yeah.
I like drinking beer. And we have Game Addicts, soon to be Literature.
Damn it.
If you want Game Addicts, they're a separate feed. You'll have to subscribe to them separately. But
Yo, Moby Dick was lit, son.
No, you remember Joanna, right? Yeah, she's the host of that.
That's pretty cool.
And she's also,
I know she loves books.
Yeah, she's also the host of, or one of the hosts of Butt Stuff. It's Butt, Stuff.
Yeah.
I love that name. And that's a funny show. It's really random. You never know what you're going to get with that one. Much like this show, you just never know what we're going to talk about, how far we're going to take it. The last live stream I did, we got pretty ridiculous up in here. And it's only going to get more ridiculous, especially once I go on shutdown.
Oh, yeah. That's 2 or 3 weeks away.
Mm-hmm. Have I told you what I'm going to do?
Mm-mm.
I'll tell you after the show.
Awesome. You know what you should do? You should bring it up to Chicago sometime.
I'm going to talk to you about that right now, actually.
Awesome.
So here in the weekend, what weekend is it?
Next weekend.
No, it's not next. Okay, yeah, it is the next weekend. Shit. That's not far away. So next weekend, the weekend of like the 9th and 10th and all that.
Yeah.
Chicago's having this winter thing. She wants me to go.
They got a lot of winter stuff, dude.
Yeah, it's like a light thing. What is it?
Lights.
Yeah, there's some Christmas lights going on. And
I think it might be called like the Winter Walk or something.
I think so. Yeah.
Where's it at?
Somewhere in
Chicago, Chi-Town, Chi-City.
It's pretty big though.
It's Chi-City.
I know, like there's a place called Lincoln Park Zoo up there.
Yeah.
They have a thing called the Winter Walk. It is free, and I mean, this is my first winter up. Well, I moved there in February, so
Okay.
late winter. But this will be our like first Christmas there this year. So
Okay.
we're gonna go around to the ice skating rink sometime and
Nice.
do all that fun stuff.
Okay, so next weekend.
Yeah.
I guess next weekend. It's coming up really fast for me. We're gonna head up there for that. But
Okay.
Friday night, we're gonna stop in Hammond, where I'm gonna hang out with Mr. Nate Phillips.
Cool
record.
beans.
I forgot a podcast. His other podcast, The Voice of Survival.
He's probably like, you motherfucker. Plug me, bro.
No, he's got enough podcasts. I plug most of them. But I'm going up there to record my episode of The Voice of Survival.
Mm-hmm.
The Voice of Survival, it's a conversation where you get to know people. Like it's basically like an interview, telling of your story. And I'm very excited to do that.
I'm sorry. Anybody mentions the interview, I just think of fucking David or James Franco.
Are you excited for The Disaster Artist?
I can't decide if I want to see that.
I will.
I think it looks good, and I've heard good things.
Have you heard about the movie it's based off?
No.
The Room?
Mm.
Considered the worst movie of all time.
I might see
It's a cultural phenomenon.
I think I've heard of this.
It's
yes.
The Room. Anyway, so I'm gonna go up there, record my episode, stay the night. Then we're gonna go up to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And can I stay?
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. That's what I was getting at. So I'm gonna record that weekend.
I'll be honest. We don't have too much room.
That's fine.
Like-
We'll figure it out.
We have one bedroom. And we got a tiny ass couch.
We'll
So
figure it out. I'm sure I can borrow my roommate's air mattress.
yeah, I mean, we can. Our furniture's light. We can move it.
Cool. But yeah, so I figured, I just bring all my podcasting shit up there and we'd record another episode.
Absolutely.
Get Felipe on there finally.
Yeah, we'll finally get his charismatic ass on your
Oh,
podcast.
definitely.
Want to see a guy that can control a room, and it is
Oh,
him.
definitely. Then the plan is to leave the next day and hit up Three Floyds on the way home, get me some beer,
Cool.
and get me a case of beer in preparation for what is to be
A drunken shutdown.
not just a drunken shutdown, but a very drunken episode of Podcastrophe. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it. I can't decide if I want to call it the Drunk Cast or Drunkcastrophe.
I think I'd like the drunk cast.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I was going to talk to you after the show. But now it's live and recorded. Over Christmas shutdown, we are recording Drunkcastrophe, the Drunk Cast, where we are going to have several people on, and we are going to be drunk as shit.
Cool.
The plan is we're gonna pregame with Brews with Dudes.
We're gonna drink on one podcast, and we're gonna just transition right into the next one.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan, brother.
Yeah, the plan is just to be completely blasted, and who knows what the fuck's gonna happen.
Hardcore rock paper
Yeah.
scissors.
But the
They're
funny,
betting fingers down here, Charlie.
so the cool thing about the Drunk Cast is, not long ago, Nate reached out to Podbean and managed to get us a whole week featured on their front page.
Oh, hot damn.
So, and since we have a podcast for every day of the week, so feature week's we gotta bring our A game.
Yeah.
Drunk Cast is gonna be the episode for feature week
Dope.
because it's the first week of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god! So
Happy New Year.
all these brand new people coming in just from seeing us on the front page, they're gonna come into my podcast and just be like, "What is this?"
It's magical.
It is. It will be magical. My plan is I have some people in mind. Obviously, since we're doing Brews with Dudes, we'll have Nick Maxon on there. He is the host of Brews with Dudes, for those who don't know. And then hopefully I'm going to have Tyler McLaughlin back on, and Rachel, who is, I believe, still hopefully watching this stream. I see her name over there. But she'll hopefully be on as well. And the rest of the cast of characters for that show is either yet to be decided or still being a closely guarded secret.
TBD.
To be decided. But yeah, that was my plan. I wanted to definitely go up to Chicago and get another podcast in with you.
Yeah.
You and Felipe, whoever else is up there.
Dude, I'm up for whenever. You tell me a time, I'll be down here, or if you want to come up,
Hell yeah, dude.
you come up.
I'm really bummed because that weekend, the Monster Hunter, what is it? The beta, it drops.
Oh.
And I'm like, no, I'm going to be away from my PlayStation 4 all weekend.
Fuck it, bring it.
I'm probably going to.
Okay. I got a 4K TV.
Cool. I got an argument with Andy earlier.
About what?
4K.
What about it?
It wasn't much of an argument. I'm not going to lie. But so I get home and I had a package.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered some 4K HDMI cables.
Yeah.
Some high-speed HDMI cables. And so he's like, what'd you get? I'm like, oh, I got some 4K HDMI cables. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, they're 4K HDMI. Like, what's the difference between a regular one? These are suited for 4K.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? Show me the difference. He gets like all like up in arms and upset, like I'm wasting my fucking money or something.
It's the wiring inside of it.
Yeah, it's better quality wiring,
Yeah.
and enables data to travel faster.
Exactly.
Therefore, giving a better quality picture. He's like, he doesn't understand 4K. Like, he doesn't understand like what's so much better about it. I mean, okay, so obviously, going from 4K to 1080p. Not a ginormous difference.
No.
It's just a little clearer. You can see, like, people's fucking individual hairs. It's insane in that aspect. But, like, I just like it because it's a much clearer picture. It's a much better picture. And he's like, I just don't see what the point is.
Well, here's my opinion on 4K. You don't need a 4K anything unless it is bigger than a 40-inch.
Yeah. In which I have a 65. So
yeah.
I'm set.
Boom. Yeah, I have a 40-inch and a 55-inch. Those are my two TVs, both 4K, both smart TVs. That's what I got. Mm-hmm. However, I have a gaming monitor that is a 25-inch gaming monitor. It's 1080p.
Yeah. This is 27 and it's 4K.
Yeah.
But since it's a monitor, you're a lot closer to it, so you can actually see.
Mm-hmm.
Normal TVs, you're sitting kind of at a distance, so that the size has to matter for that.
I'm still of the belief, though, that if it's not 40-inch, you don't need 4K. So I'm just like, I'll just get this 1080p gaming monitor.
That's fair.
With 144 hertz.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's got a 1 millisecond reaction speed, so. Boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, Andy, you need cables that can actually run the shit.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just... I mean, it's... I wouldn't say... Okay, so I'm still saying it probably still runs 4K. It's just not as clear of a 4K.
It depends on how old the cable is.
That is also true.
Yeah.
So I got a pack of 3 HDMI cables. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to just replace all my cables back there. I think some of them are actually 4K cables, but I'm just going to go ahead and replace them all anyways. Yeah. It's like I'm running PlayStation 4 Pro, Apple TV 4K. I managed to snag one of those. And an Xbox One.
Pretty boss. I don't have an Xbox. I had one and I sold it because I'd never played it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I never played my PlayStation, so I'm about to sell that too.
Nice.
I just kind of transitioned to PC.
Had I known that, I wouldn't have got. We could have got a PlayStation 4 from you instead of Best Buy.
I put it on Facebook a while ago.
Didn't know.
Yeah, I put it on Facebook. I was like, hey, I got like 6 games, all of it. You want it for $300?
Nice.
My controller's broke.
Oh.
I'll probably keep the controller actually, just to plug it in the computer and play like Rocket League. You can't play that shit on a mouse and keyboard.
No.
No, it's really hard.
No.
But yeah. Alrighty, I think we should talk about Justice League.
I think so too.
It's
spoilers. She hasn't seen it yet.
She
She
just
had her-
looked at you like, no, please don't do spoilers. No.
She had her opportunity to watch last Friday.
I actually,
I'm a mother.
No, you didn't.
no, you're not a
The
mother.
kids were
Oh, last Friday.
last Friday. Yeah, I remember we were driving around town. We were looking for something to do, and I was like, "You want to go see a movie?"
No,
And
middle of the day.
so we were like looking through like the list of movies, and there was like literally nothing good but Justice League. So I was like, "Well, want to go see Justice League?" She's like, "I'm not really in the mood to go see a movie." I'm like, "All right, guess we'll just go home and finish Stranger Things."
That's a good show.
Yeah, we finished it up.
That's a really good show. I thought season 1 was better than season 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I like both equally.
Both were good. Episode 7 of season 2 sucked. It's the one where 11 spoilers.
Oh yeah, that episode did suck.
Yeah.
That was a really weird episode.
No, everyone hates that episode. If you go on any forum,
I didn't
everyone-
necessarily hate it, but I'm like, I could have.
It just felt so out
of.
of place. But no, I mean,
It's probably gonna play into the next couple seasons.
that's what That's what they're saying. There was rumor that it was going to be a spinoff. There was going to be a spinoff
Oh.
for what her name? She was 8,
She was
right?
8, yeah.
But I think the overall reception of the character might deter that now.
Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah, good show.
I'm not in love with the show, but I'll keep watching it because I do like it and
Mhm.
I am involved in it now. So
It's not my favorite show that I've watched. I will say that it is very good though.
yeah,
I love Dustin. He's my favorite
Yeah.
character.
yeah. I don't have the hype for it that everyone else has for it. Like everybody's just obsessed and in love with the show, and I like it a lot, but I'm not gonna go that far.
I'm so jaded with shows and stuff half the time. Like I guess I'm that fucking hipster. It's like, oh, I don't want to watch it. Everybody likes it.
yeah.
Like, but that's how I was with Stranger Things. Everybody's like, you need to watch Stranger Things. I'm like, okay,
Were you like that with Breaking Bad?
yeah.
Because I remember there's a bunch of people I know that won't watch it because, like, oh, everybody fucking loves that show.
There's a reason.
Yeah, there is a very good reason
Yeah.
because the show's amazing.
It is my favorite show of all time. Breaking
and
Bad.
like Breaking Bad, Stranger Things is only set to go for 4 seasons.
I hope
and-
that's
and-
the case.
Because I like they've talked about it on Journey into Comics a little bit, but I like shows that have a start and an end,
Me too.
a clear cut. Like the director, the creator has a vision and they see it through, and then they stop.
Yep. That's to me why Breaking Bad was so good.
Yeah,
It did not overstay its welcome. There was a clear direction of a character arc.
mm-hmm.
We're going to start him off here, and then we're going to turn him to the freaking kingpin. And my gosh, Bryan Cranston.
We could go on and on.
Why are
about
you not
Breaking
Lex
Bad.
Luthor? Please.
Why exactly? Exactly.
We'll get into that with the Justice League talk.
Here in a second. Spoiler alert.
Yes.
Tons of spoilers.
We
about
will be
that.
talking specifics about this movie.
Yeah, we've the Journey into Comics podcast already had an entire episode devoted to Justice League.
Yeah.
So this will be more of like a reactionary geeking out
Yeah.
rather than like really dissecting shit. I would say, but
Which, yeah,
which
absolutely.
we're really good at geeking out about shit.
Damn
together.
right we're good at geeking out.
Oh yeah. So if you want,
Yeah, if you want
If
to
you
bounce.
comment, you have to respond.
That's-
That's what I put on my post.
oh, I have to respond to them.
Do you want my phone?
Oh, oh joy.
I've only got 25%. You probably don't want to use my phone.
Oh, that's fine. I don't need it. I can read from afar,
I can read.
hopefully. But yeah, so Justice League, I really enjoyed this movie.
I did too. It's not my favorite of the DC Extended Universe.
No, and of course that goes to Wonder Woman.
That goes to Wonder Woman by far. Wonder Woman to me is actually one of the best superhero movies that's come out in a while.
Yeah.
Like I said, I haven't seen most of the Marvel Universe movies since probably.
I'm assuming you haven't seen the latest Thor.
No, I have not seen Ragnarok.
You don't need. Well, okay, you kind of need to see The Dark World to watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Marvel to me, it's good, but it's kind of getting stale.
Luckily, they're reaching the end of this.
Exactly, they're reaching into this phase. What is it? Phase 3.
Yeah, phase 3 or 4 right now. I think they stopped with the phases, honestly.
But my problem with that is, and I will kind of go into this a little bit more when we start talking Justice League, because I have this point, is Marvel's heroes, they're starting to run out of, like, kind of their big ball heroes. Even though Iron Man wasn't really, like, one of their staple heroes until the movies. Mm-hmm. They might be able to recreate that, but I'm worried that they're not going to be able to have that same success with the new group of heroes, which I'm assuming is probably going to be led by Tom Holland or Black Panther.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, all they have left is for the Marvel Universe, as far as I know. I'm not a comic book nerd. Mm-hmm. I don't know the extent of the Marvel Universe. But as far as I know, in terms of heavy hitters, all they really have left are the X-Men and the Fantastic Four.
Both owned by Fox. Yep.
So,
well, they have Sentry. But Sentry is not as well known. Sentry is basically their version of Superman.
Really?
Yeah. He even wears a giant-ass S on his chest.
Oh, shit.
But he's, like, gold. And, I mean, he's, like, one of their, like, powerhouses as far as, like,
I've never
heroes.
heard of him.
But, I mean...
Then again, I've also never heard of Captain Marvel, and apparently she's a total badass as well.
Yeah, she is. But I'm wondering if maybe they bring in Sentry.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering also, is he too overpowered? Who knows?
For this universe, probably.
I'm not as familiar with Marvel as I am DC.
Yeah.
I'm more of a DC fan. I like both, but I'm more of like the main heroes. I'm more of a Spider-Man and, X-Men fan over like people like Captain Marvel, Black Panther,
yeah,
Ant-Man.
Those characters aren't nearly as well known.
Exactly. And again, I'm going to make that point of when we start talking about Justice League is when you think of superheroes, you probably think of DC heroes.
Oh yeah,
like
by far.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're the superheroes.
Exactly.
They have like powers. Most of the Marvel Earth characters don't.
They're just dudes.
They're just dudes. I mean, Captain America, he's just a dude that's really souped up, honestly.
Yeah. He's Soldier 76 from Overwatch.
I mean, Iron Man, he's a guy in a suit. He's a rich guy in a suit.
Just smart. Yep.
Hawkeye, he's just a dude.
Just a dude.
He's just a dude. Black Widow, she's just a chick.
Yep.
Justice League.
Yes.
Get on track.
Let's start.
Let's get on track, pal.
All right, so we'll start off with Justice League opening scene. Batman fights a parademon.
Yeah. Okay, so what was really cool about that scene? Just like starting like before the parademon.
Yeah.
It reminded me of basically the opening scene from the 1989 Batman.
Yeah.
It was almost like shot for shot.
Yeah, it looks very similar to
Batman on the roof with a crook, a burglar dude, a bad guy, and then you see the cityscape, and that reminded me so much of the Tim Burton, the OG Tim Burton.
Yep. Michael Keaton
Gotham.
Batman. Yep.
Yeah, the Michael Keaton Batman. The Gotham City from those, that really dark, gloomy, gothic Gotham, and it really brought me back, and I thought that was really neat how they did that.
Mm-hmm. So I'll go through the movie bit by bit.
Oh, what is going
Scared
on?
the shit out of me.
Why is my intro playing? I don't understand why my intro's playing. That's so weird. I don't understand why my intro started playing. That was super weird.
That scared the hell out of me.
I know. Oh wait, no. That was my outro. What the hell? Why is my outro?
We talked too long.
Somehow my outro went into my intro track. That's weird. Okay, we're good now.
Alrighty. So
that was weird. Anyway,
yeah, I'll go through the movie, and I'll go through what I liked about the movie first, and then I'll go through what I disliked about the movie.
Okay, let's hear it.
So what I liked about the movie, going in order, the parademon. I never thought I'd see a parademon on a freaking big screen.
Yeah, right.
So I thought that was cool.
Hey, Skylar.
Hi,
Skylar Scott, everybody.
But I like how Batman fought the parademon.
Yeah.
Then it cuts to, I think it's the Wonder Woman intro scene. I won't get too in depth about like each scene right now, until we kind of discuss them.
Mm-hmm.
But the Wonder Woman scene I thought was pretty cool. It's probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Yeah, it was a really cool fight scene.
Mm-hmm. Shows just kind of how badass she is. I didn't like how she entered the room, just kind of barreled through the doors.
Yeah,
But that was pretty cool. Next is Batman and Aquaman, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason Momoa did a really good job as Aquaman. I had doubts about his Aquaman.
Yeah.
But I actually enjoyed his character. For the most part, I enjoyed every character. I had doubts about Aquaman and Flash. And Ezra Miller, I thought, played a really good Flash. Did his role of, hey, check this out. I'm the fun-loving Barry Allen. I'm the comic relief.
Yes, definitely. He's the Flash from the animated series.
Exactly. And
For sure.
I thought he did a good job. But there were bits that were a bit off with it. I really enjoyed the cyborg stuff, actually.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Much to my surprise.
Yeah, same here. His CGI wasn't good.
None of the CGI was really good in this movie.
But yeah, then the introduction of Steppenwolf as the villain, which that was at Themyscira, was fucking awesome.
Yes.
That chase scene was the shit. They're just like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Go. That was pretty cool. Then the Atlantis scene looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
There's
there
other
wasn't much to it.
Yeah, there's other stuff that we'll talk about that.
I'm sure we'll get more Atlantis in the Aquaman movie.
Yeah, which so far I've heard with like viewings, really good. So maybe that's just another step in the right direction.
Good.
Spoiler alert, especially right here, the introduction of Superman coming back.
That was really cool.
That was my favorite scene in the movie.
Same.
And it's not because I'm a big Superman fan, which I am, obviously. I just thought it was so well played out that...
It really was. So my girlfriend had a theory on how he was going to be revived. Because obviously he's in the movie. We knew he was going to be in this movie.
Exactly.
We knew they spent $1.5 million to CGI remove his mustache.
Fucking Paramount Pictures dicks, man.
So her theory was, and she got this theory from watching Smallville. Ooh. There are different stones that have different effects on Kal-El.
Yeah, the different
Superman.
kryptonite rocks, yeah.
And so she thought that Lois's engagement ring was one of those stones because she held the dirt in her hand and then she put it in the grave and then...
Oh, you're talking about the end of Batman v Superman right now.
And then the dirt rises.
Yeah.
She thought because of the ring it made the dirt rip. And that because of that somehow he was revived because of the dirt.
That's actually kind of one of my issues with this movie.
You didn't like how they did it?
I did, but at the same time, it was already implied that he was being revived.
Yeah, it was.
Like, the ground levitated.
So that completely negates that.
Yeah, like,
altogether.
Why did we see the ground levitate at the end of Batman v Superman? And then all of a sudden they got to use this mother box.
They got to use the mother box. Two, they got to use the world engine, not the world engine, but the ship.
Yeah, they got to use the
chamber.
Yeah,
the Genesis chamber.
Yes, that's what it's called. I kept wanting to say echo chamber for whatever reason.
Yeah, they have. So that completely negates that scene at the end of Batman vs Superman. Makes it completely useless. Once again, fucking DC movie cinematic universe
continuity is terrible.
The continuity's terrible. The writing's terrible. Come on, guys. Come on.
I thought everyone said Steppenwolf was a weak villain. I didn't think necessarily he was a weak villain for them.
He's a forgettable villain.
He is a forgettable villain, but you could tell the movie had been cut. And that's my issue with the Steppenwolf, because those, I'm sure, are probably the main scenes they cut, his fights and him beating the shit out of the Justice League.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the after credit scene.
Both of them.
Yeah, both of them. But overall, I mean, I liked the movie. That's more of just the DC fan in me. I thought it was better than, most of the other DC movies. I enjoyed Man of Steel. I'm one of the few that actually enjoyed Man of Steel.
I did too. I enjoyed Batman vs. Superman, but do I recognize it as a bad movie? Yes.
See, I did not enjoy Batman v Superman. I was so pissed off about that movie, especially in the introduction of Doomsday.
Yeah, I was unhappy with that from the trailer.
I would have been all right with Doomsday being in the movie had he not died in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we can talk about that. It's been long enough since it's been out.
Yeah.
But had Doomsday been introduced and they did more of the resurrection, I feel like Justice League is too soon. That's one of the issues I have with Justice League right now. The movie, although I liked it, should not have happened right now. To me, what should have happened is they introduced Doomsday, he kills Superman, and he goes on a fucking spree. I know that doesn't match the fucking story at all, but whatever. Keep him coming. Let Doomsday be Doomsday. Or if you kill him off, then instead of doing Justice League, you do Man of Steel 2, and you do the whole Death of Superman with Steel, Superboy, Cyborg, Superman, and freaking, I can't even remember the other one. A clone of
Bizarro?
him. It's not Bizarro.
Bizarro?
No, it's like a Superman that wears this weird ass visor. I think he's from Earth. He's from a different Earth, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I can't remember right now.
So introduce the separate.
Yeah,
universes.
and then it goes to Cyborg, Superman just fucking murdering everybody, and then you got real soups come back.
Yeah.
And then you can start to introduce maybe the Justice League. I don't know. I feel like this whole cinematic universe is rushed. And
yeah,
this is what I talked about with Marvel earlier. I said Marvel doesn't have their A-game heroes anymore, really.
They're not going to, no.
Why not wait for them to end their A-game heroes and bring these kind of B heroes to introduce the Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash. You have the names. You have the big guns of superheroes.
Yeah.
Why not just wait till Marvel's done? Because they're almost over with their whole big universe. And follow their formula. Do a basic introduction to Superman. We don't need a backstory. We don't need a backstory for him or Batman. We know it. But Wonder Woman, we need an origin story for. Nerds like me know her origin story, but how many people know the origin story for Wonder Woman? Not too many people.
I didn't.
And you do that for Aquaman also. And you can do that for the Flash. I feel like more people probably know the Flash's origin.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be more of just kind of a flashback or something happening.
Yeah, we weren't. Well, because the Flash movie's supposedly going to be the Flashpoint.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And again, that's how you can also show how he got his powers is through the Flashpoint movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you bring up the Flashpoint. I got another point on that I'll talk about later.
Oh, I got something I want to say about that.
Yeah.
Too, so.
Speaking of which, I was on TV today, right before I left.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was the animated one.
Oh, I love that
That's
movie.
such a good one.
That was the movie that... So it kind of inspired me to start watching the actual TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I fucking love this.
DC animated movies are amazing.
Top notch.
If you want good storytelling, watch their animated stuff.
Which is hilarious because Marvel animated sucks dick.
So bad.
They could... DC and Marvel could easily take notes from each other.
Yeah, exactly. But the Justice League movie, I enjoyed. A lot of things I didn't like about it. One of my issues was it was short.
Yeah.
Granted, it was about 2 hours.
Yeah.
But you could tell it was cut down to a point where Steppenwolf was a forgettable villain.
You want to know what my problem with Steppenwolf was?
What's that?
One, I don't know him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know DC as well as you do in terms of the expanded going into Darkseid territory.
Yeah, I love Darkseid so freaking much.
I don't know Darkseid, but
Picture Thanos, but a bigger badass.
I know, right? Thanos is based off of him, from what I understand.
It is.
So I don't know those characters. So seeing Steppenwolf all I could think of was one of the villains from Suicide Squad.
Yep.
I was like the same exact shitty CGI person, like 10-foot tall fucking ginormous guy with a headdress.
Yep.
That's all I could think of was fucking Suicide Squad, and I hated the villain. I hated Suicide Squad for their shitty villains and shitty plotline.
I refused to watch Suicide Squad because I heard it was so bleh. And I was already so disappointed from Batman v Superman that year. I was like, I can't handle another one.
Yeah.
And luckily, I guess I made the smart move.
You definitely made the smart move. I mean, I went ahead and bought it on 4K Blu-ray.
God, I hate this movie. Fucking give me it.
I don't necessarily hate the movie, but I definitely, I definitely wish I hadn't saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
I like it for Deadshot and Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I
See,
like
I
their
heard
characters. I like what
Will
they did.
Smith carried the movie.
He did. Him and Margot Robbie.
Deadshot is a very good character, in my opinion, just based off of stuff I seen in Arrow.
Yeah.
I really, really liked Justice League scenes as far as seeing Superman come back and beat the shit out of everybody.
Can I talk about that scene real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so that scene was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, I called this, and it still amazed me and made me go, yes! Because I called it, because as soon as I saw the Flash go in there, I was like, oh shit, Superman's as fast as the Flash, equally as fast.
He's pretty quick. He's not as fast.
Yeah,
but
because he doesn't have
I would
the
assume
potential.
this is probably an early Barry Allen.
It is.
Someone that's, he's younger, so he's not as developed with the Speed Force and stuff.
So as soon as I knew it, I knew he was gonna do something with the speed of Superman, and so Barry Allen zooms in there. Zoom. Get it if you're a Flash fan.
Haha, puns.
Ha. Anyway, so he races in there and he's doing his I'm a speedster thing, trying to fucking catch Superman off guard with his speed. And so you see it goes into the slow motion because he's going so fast, everything's so slow, and you see Superman's eyes start tracking him.
Yep.
And I was like, oh. And then you see Barry Allen's face like,
oh no.
He goes, what? And you could just see the holy shit in his eyes.
The terror.
Yeah, and you feel the terror because that's Superman, and he's a pissed off Superman.
He's holding back at this point in the movie. He's holding down Wonder Woman, Cyborg, fucking Aquaman, and he just threw Batman for one.
Yeah.
He's
like, I remember you.
Yeah. And then so what Dick here is saying, fucking Barry just takes off. Everything's frozen because he's going so fast. All of a sudden, you just see Superman's eyes track him, and the sheer amount of terror on his face.
Yeah.
He is just like, for one, it's a look of shock. How can he see me? And then 2 of, oh no, I'm about to get rocked. And Superman just goes absolutely bananas on him. And to me, that's the best scene in the movie.
Oh, yeah. What is it with all these speedsters having the most amazing scenes?
I don't know, the Quicksilver scenes from the X-Men movies.
And so the Quicksilver scene from Age of Ultron was
I've only seen Age of Ultron once. I didn't really like it. So it's hard I saw it in theater, so it's been a while.
So yeah, Quicksilver didn't get quite the scenes that which is also a connection between those two Quicksilvers. They were both in Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
And they both play Quicksilver. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, Barry, great scene. Cyborg played a bigger role in the movie than I thought.
Yeah, and I never really liked Cyborg, not even watching the Teen Titans animated series.
I was more annoyed of why they were introducing the Justice League with Cyborg in it.
Yeah,
that was one of my thoughts. I'm
weird.
like, why? He's in Titans. Which, I mean, I guess with comic books, he's, I think it's New 52. Mm-hmm. Cyborg is part of the Justice League. But to me, he's part of the Titans.
Yeah, same.
So I would have rather seen the Green Lantern, which, I forgot. The opening, Lord of the Rings looking scene.
Yeah.
Where the Green Lantern ring.
And you see the Green Lantern in there.
Yeah,
too.
you see the Lantern Corps. guys fighting, and then the ring takes off into space,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like, who's the ring going to? Is it Hal Jordan?
Well,
or
it's too early.
Is it Jon Stewart?
That was like 5,000 years in the past, so there's no way.
But that's one of the questions I had. Which lantern are we getting?
Good question.
My preference is Jon Stewart. That's the one that I grew up with the Justice League animated series.
He's the black dude, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I prefer that one. I'm not a big Hal Jordan fan,
And
especially after Ryan Reynolds.
sorry, Ryan.
Sorry, love.
But that made me excited. Because to me, they're starting to build on their universe a little bit more, and it's starting to look better.
It is. Did you also? I noticed something else in that scene, which will connect to a theory. My friend Nate Phillips suggested that opening scene where with the camera, where the boy with the camera, he thinks that the kid behind the camera is the kid that becomes Shazam.
It could be. I know that they've got they've started. I think they've started filming Shazam
with
it's the guy from Chuck.
Yeah,
right?
that guy. And
they
The
should have
Rock
got
playing.
John Cena, man.
Yeah, that would have been fucking badass.
They should have got John Cena to play Shazam.
We all know that would have been badass, but it is what it is.
I know.
But we still get The Rock as Black Adam.
I don't know if I like that casting.
I don't either. I don't know.
I don't know if I like that casting. I think they should have gone with a more Middle Eastern actor.
Yeah.
I can't, honestly. I'm sorry, I don't know any, really.
Yeah, me either.
It's hard, but I'm sure they could find someone.
Yeah. Oh well, but so in that scene, that flashback scene where they're talking about Steppenwolf, I could have swore I saw something along the lines of Shazam in that.
Well, they
You
you saw the old gods,
yeah,
which is Zeus, Ares, all those villains or gods, whatever you want to call them. I think of villains just because of Ares, but like that's kind of what Shazam's based off of, is ancient magic through the gods, like Zeus, and then like other heroes like Hercules, Achilles, things like that. Old mythology, which is pretty cool. So that would relate really well with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm pretty actually excited about the Shazam movie.
I've watched the animated movie. It was all right.
It was all right. I remember Shazam's character from the animated series. He's in it very briefly from Justice League, and it was really good because he had such a conflict with Superman.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't watched Justice League the animated series, it's on Netflix. The whole show, it's really good.
I've wanted to just because I want more Flash, but the Flash isn't exactly a major character in that.
In the first one, he is. He's part of the original 7.
Well, yeah.
Justice League Unlimited, there's an episode that's literally dedicated to him. It's really good. The best episodes in Justice League, there's one. I think it's episode 3 of Unlimited. It's where Superman has to deal with the Black Mercy. That's a really good episode. Batman, it's called Epilogue. It's episode 26 of Justice League Unlimited. And it talks about the transition for Terry McGinnis to being Batman Beyond.
Oh, really? So
Which that
in
is
Justice League, they bring in Batman Beyond.
Yes, they do.
That's
they also have
awesome.
Static Shock.
Really?
Yep. They do there's some episodes where they have time travel.
I didn't know Static Shock was part of the...
And he is, I guess, related to Jon Stewart. Not like related as like family.
Yeah.
But like they are like known to one another.
Okay.
But
I was completely... wow, Static Shock. That's a blast from the fucking past.
Yeah.
I loved that show.
But there's another point that, like in Justice League, they hint at Batman being too old for this. Or
Yes.
getting there. Are they doing a Batman Beyond?
Who would play Terry Guinness?
That's a good question. It's like, are they going to keep Ben Affleck as Old Man Batman?
Are they...
Or would they move on to like an older version?
Yeah.
Like Michael Keaton. What if they got Michael Keaton to play Old Man Bruce Wayne?
I can't remember if I've talked about this or not. So, supposedly, Joker is not going to be part of the Batman movie.
I think we need a break from him.
We do.
Since Heath Ledger's Joker, I think literally he's been mentioned or starred in almost every single Batman movie or played a significant role. What they need to do is they need to do a Red Hood movie.
That's what I was getting towards.
Yes.
So there was a theory going around that this Joker isn't the Joker, it's Jason Todd. and that the real Joker's still out there.
See, I've heard a rumor also that it's not. I heard it's Tim Drake.
That'd be weird.
Because if you've seen Batman Beyond's movie, the animated movie, it's called I think it's called The Return of the Joker.
Yeah.
Tim Drake is the Joker in that movie.
Really?
He got laced with the Joker, Joker gas.
Yeah.
And brainwashed. It's a really dark scene in the movie for, especially an animated movie. This was like the first time I've ever seen like a cartoon be so kind of dark and somber. Because I hadn't seen Mask of the Phantasm at that point. Good movie. But Tim Drake is literally kidnapped and tortured for 2 weeks and brainwashed and becomes a mini Joker.
Yeah.
And Batman gets tied up and is sitting there while Tim is getting ready to shoot him as like a little baby Joker. And then all of a sudden Tim, out of nowhere, just looks at Joker, shoots him in the chest, and kills him. And like he just starts laughing hysterically and then just starts bawling. And like this is at the time where Tim is just a kid, like a small kid. And like it is a dark scene, and it's like later on you find out as Terry's fighting the Joker, it is Tim Drake. And a lot of people are like, "Oh no, it's Jason Todd because you know Joker killed Jason Todd. He comes back as Red Hood, which was Joker's kind of origin story."
I would like that.
I would too,
because you have the Robin suit with the bullet holes.
But I would also like the idea of it being Tim Drake, because if you see the Robin suit, he's holding a staff, like a bow kind of staff, which is the weapon of choice of Tim Drake. I think it would be fan service for Jason Todd, probably more. But I would like the swerve of it being Tim Drake instead of Jason Todd.
Mm-hmm. See, I was really hoping it was Jason Todd, for the fact that if they do a Nightwing movie, and then they instead of bringing Joker in for Batman, they bring him in for Nightwing, and then it's Robin versus Robin.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
I guess it would still be Robin versus Robin if it was Tim Drake, but I prefer Jason Todd, because then we don't have a Red Hood, but we have a variation of it, I guess.
Absolutely.
And I just love the idea that Jason Todd is tortured to the point of death, and then comes back, and instead of
loses its mind from the Lazarus pit,
and becomes the Joker.
Yeah,
like it's so cool. And then there's still a Joker out there that's not Jared Leto.
But yeah, like I like the scene of like them possibly hinting that Batman is too old to do this.
Yes.
Like I think they're doing a good job of planting seeds.
They are.
I feel like I told you I was going to say what I liked about the movie, and I'm going more into what I disliked.
That's okay.
I did dislike quite a bit of the movie, just for the simple fact of it just seemed cut so much.
Yeah.
It seemed very choppy. Things were very short. And we mentioned Steppenwolf several times being a forgettable villain. It's because as soon as Superman shows up, the fight's over.
He doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At all.
Like, Superman literally just laughs in his face anytime he comes at him. So I liked it. There was stuff that I think they could have done better. I really think they went the wrong... They're really trying to play cleanup on this whole Zack Snyder universe.
They really are.
And
luckily they had Joss Whedon to help.
Yeah. And you can tell the scenes pretty much by Joss Whedon versus Zack Snyder. Like, pretty much any of the sarcastic scenes with, like, Flash and Aquaman are Joss Whedon's input.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you mentioned Flashpoint Paradox. I've heard rumors that maybe the Flashpoint is going to completely reboot the DC EU.
That way they don't have to bring Ben Affleck back.
That way they don't have to bring Ben Affleck back, and they can kind of start over.
Yeah.
They can pretty much use the exact same casting. Because here's the thing. If you said we need to just start over and reboot these movies, as great as some of the casting choices are, minus Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, now you can't have them back. Like, you can't have Henry Cavill be Superman. You can't have Gal Gadot be Wonder Woman. And I I think that sucks because I think they have actually done a good job with the roles that they've been given and the stuff they've been given.
Mm-hmm.
But if the Flashpoint is true, for one, we'll have Jeffrey Morgan be Thomas Wayne.
I love Thomas Wayne Batman.
Which, if you don't know, he is a bad man.
Yeah, you'll get the comedian Batman.
Yeah. I hope they actually do use... I hope it's just a quick little like scene where it shows how Martha Wayne goes to the Joker.
Yeah. Much like the actual Flashpoint movie. You never see the Joker again.
You never...
You just see
You just see him interrogate people asking where the Joker's at. And then you see the playing card.
Yeah.
But
it's just that brief alternate origin story.
Exactly.
You know? And I love the Flashpoint story because you get Thomas Wayne as Batman. It's just I didn't expect that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Martha Wayne as the Joker, I didn't expect that. And then so moving forward to the actual movies, they've already set in place a major actor as Thomas Wayne, albeit you see it very briefly in Batman vs Superman. So I was like, why would you use such a big actor, especially for right now, for such a small scene, if you're not going to use him later?
Exactly.
For Flashpoint.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
you know what also Flashpoint also means? Reverse Flash.
Exactly.
We get Eobard Thawne, and I love Eobard Thawne. He is like one of my favorite villains.
Yes. What really excites me about it too, and what I think will be really great for the Flashpoint, Flash is known to kind of be like the comedic relief.
Yes.
This is a serious movie.
Yeah.
Like, it'll take a dark tone, and I think if they do it right, the Flash having to kind of be in a more serious manner. Also, doing some comedic stuff. But,
yeah, of course.
It's a dark world in Flashpoint. Like, it is on the brink of pure annihilation and just utter apocalypse, essentially. Not to mention, like, Darkseid. Like, the world's about to end, essentially.
Yeah.
In Flashpoint. It's a very serious toned movie. And it has a big plot twist that, for the most part, you probably don't see coming.
What was the plot twist in that movie?
Spoilers. It actually wasn't caused by Eobard Thawne. It was caused by the Flash going back to save his mom.
Yeah, that's right.
That was the kind of twist.
Yeah, okay.
You think more of it, it's like the whole movie. They're like, Thawne did this. He changed it.
Mm-hmm.
When really it was actually Barry that did this. And there's a really like, you see the tough scene where the decision he has to make. Himself. He has to stop himself from saving his mother from being murdered. Like, it's a very serious toned movie. So I'm pretty excited about that. But
it never explained that he was going back in time to do that. It just
he's like, I'm just gonna go run and clear my head. That's what he said in the movie.
Yeah.
But with them starting to introduce the possibility of time travel, that can reset, kind of like what X-Men: Days of Futures Past did.
It did, yeah. But there is the time travel scene in Batman vs Superman where he wakes up and Barry's there.
Yeah. But they don't necessarily say if that's time travel or a dream. Like, that's one of the confusing things about Batman v Superman. That's one of the issues.
Well, he didn't know about Barry yet.
Exactly. Well, I think did he not know about him?
He didn't know yet. He doesn't watch those things until the end. Of course, the way that movie is cut and edited,
it's just so spotty.
Really don't know where each scene takes place.
Yeah.
In terms of like relation to where the movie's at,
mm-hmm.
like that was one of the biggest issues I had with that movie.
Well, also going back to that time travel scene, he yells, "Lois is the key."
Mm-hmm. That
could have been what this movie was about. Evil Superman gets stopped by Lois Lane. That's their big gun.
Yeah.
Oh, here's an issue I had with the movie. Everybody's just yelling everybody's secret identity out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, Lois comes into the middle of the park with fucking, 8 million cops looking at Superman. She's like, "Clark, calm down!" Like, she's always seen with Clark Kent now, but she's always making out with Superman. Like,
yeah.
Stop it. Like, he's supposed to have a secret identity.
And he's dead. The secret identity is also known as dead.
Yeah. And then, like, I don't know. It annoys me. A lot of things annoy me. I really want them to do well. Like, the animated movies are so good. And I know some things can't be like translated to animation or from animation to live action. But there are some creative decision making that's happening in like the DC live action area that just doesn't make any freaking sense as far as their continuity. And that's their main problem. Like sometimes it just feels like they're making this shit up as they go along. Where it's like, where's your overall plan?
Yeah.
What did you think about the scene at the very end with Mr. Luther and Mr. Wilson?
Very excited because I don't know how excited I am about whoever's playing Slade Wilson.
I like that casting.
I don't know who it is. It's I heard he's from True Blood.
True Blood. I just know him from the Magic Mike movies.
Oh,
yeah, but
I haven't seen those.
The second one's actually pretty funny.
Okay.
But it's Joel Magnolia, I think is his name, if I'm saying that correctly. Dude, older. I love the casting. Just he's a big dude, like muscle wise. Looks like he'd fuck you up in a fight. And Slade
for him to play Deathstroke.
Yeah, I think that is a good casting role.
I was very excited to see him come to the Arrowverse. I love Deathstroke.
Dude, the guy that played him in Arrow.
Oh, much better
is
choice.
So good.
Yeah. Oh, what's his name?
I don't even know, but it's the fact that he's Australian just makes him way cooler.
Yeah.
But I like Joel Magnolia as a casting choice. But why Jesse Eisenberg? He didn't seem as Asperger syndrome this time.
Oh my god.
And I think maybe that was like the direction they were going in with, like, you know, the death of Superman being a thing. You know, Lex Luthor had like flowing, beautiful hair and was like all about like being all happy and giddy, but literally you never knew that he had an evil agenda.
Yeah.
So maybe that was what they were trying to do, but Jesse Eisenberg just did not hit the mark as Lex for me. Maybe he'll do better now that he's like gonna go into the role of. But to me, Jesse Eisenberg is an actor that can play one role, and it is the awkward, out of place dude in a group.
And that's not Lex Luthor.
No, Lex is a guy that commands the room. When he enters, he has an intimidating presence. Assets his like business and like a physical. Like even if he's not like the biggest guy, like the guy that played him in Smallville.
Yeah, that guy. I like that guy.
He wasn't big by any means, but he had a physical presence about him because of the way he carried himself. That's why we always talk about why didn't Bryan Cranston be?
Because he knows how to fucking.
He's Heisenberg.
He knows how to carry a scene.
Yeah, Heisenberg is like.
He knows how to bring intensity to a scene.
Exactly, and I would have. If that was the cast role, oh my god.
For such a comedic actor, he knows how to bring intensity to a scene.
You were in Godzilla, why couldn't you just play Lex Luthor? But
let it be known to the public that I was going to go see, despite being a huge Godzilla fan since childhood, I was going to go see Godzilla strictly for Bryan Cranston.
He was in it for like what, the first like 15
minutes? He
is
such a key part of all the trailers.
Yeah.
His all of his yelling and shit, because they were really riding hard on the Breaking Bad wave. They're like, oh, we got Bryan Cranston. We need to make sure like
people know we got Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, and that he's gonna be the serious fucking Heisenberg type, not Heisenberg, but Walter White type role. It's serious. It's not gonna be comedy, obviously. And so you go into Godzilla, and he's barely in the movie. You see all those scenes from the trailers, and then he's gone 15, 20 minutes in.
Well, like, even with that, like, it's just, like, false advertising in a sense.
Really
with
is.
Like,
it really is.
The Hobbit did the same thing with Gollum and Smeagol.
Really?
Like, that was a huge selling point of their trailers was, oh, we got Gollum. We've got Smeagol. And he's in it for... I read the book, so I knew he was only in it for a little bit.
Yeah.
But like all these people are like, oh my god, you know.
Oh, you're okay. For whatever reason, my mind drifted to Lord of the Rings, not The Hobbit.
Yeah,
So
no.
yeah, you're right. The Hobbit.
Yeah, and The Hobbit, like Smeagol's in it for what, 15 to 20 minutes?
Yeah,
not long at all.
It's just that strict scene from the book.
Yep.
Where he
finds the ring in the cave.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is.
Yeah, so that's I'm annoyed with Jesse Eisenberg being Lex. But yeah, the movie overall not bad. Step in the right direction.
It is a step in the right direction. I really enjoyed the fact that I could finally see all these characters on the big screen, like Aquaman. But we've been stoked for Jason Momoa as Aquaman since that first teaser poster, and we're just like, oh my god, this guy is gonna be a total hard ass.
That's not the Aquaman I know, but you know what? I'm all right with it.
Yes, exactly. And then I don't think we found out I don't think we found out Ezra Miller was gonna play the Flash until like way later. But
I questioned him being the Flash.
I questioned the hell out of it.
Because the only thing I knew him from was Perks of Being a Wallflower.
I knew him from that and a couple other movies that I can't remember. He was in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
See, I haven't seen that.
Good movie.
I've seen bits of it, but
he plays this awkward, like outcast type character that's like really downtrodden, and it's the perfect Ezra Miller character. He plays those characters so well. Like I thought Barry Allen was like a really weird choice for him.
Yeah, so did I.
But he pulled it off, albeit it wasn't exactly the Flash that I wanted to see. I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the humor that came from that character. Yeah.
I know we talk about how good the Flash TV show is, but my opinion on, like, if they were going to do a movie with him in it, they should not have a TV show of the same character. I feel like it causes too much confusion.
It does, and a lot of people were pissed that they didn't get Grant Gustin to play
Exactly.
But at the same time, it's like, that's just how it is. It's different. But at the same time, they could easily be like, well, this is Earth 58.
Yeah. DC's got the whole, infinite Earths, the multiverse theory and everything like that. So they have that cop-out along with Barry Allen's time travel cop-out. You could tell this movie was supposed to be a two-parter.
Yeah, I didn't get that and I saw, yesterday, or it was either yesterday or the day before, I saw you and our good friend Austin Welch arguing.
Not really arguing, but both had actually the same opinion.
Discussing. But he said the movie was garbage.
Yeah, he wasn't as big. He didn't like it really at all, I don't think. I don't know. Some of his comments, he's like, yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction. But you could tell certain things. But yeah, to me, you could definitely tell this was originally supposed to be a two-part movie. And I think Steppenwolf was supposed to be the first part.
And Darkseid was
the second. And then Darkseid was the second.
But it's too early for Darkseid.
It's way too early for Darkseid. If you ask me, what they should have done is they should have had Evil Superman be the first part, and then Steppenwolf be part two. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't even know who Steppenwolf is. First Lieutenant of Darkseid. That's who he is.
Yeah.
And they should have touched on that more. They only mentioned Darkseid one time in the movie.
Yeah, and it's just an offhand remark from Steppenwolf.
Yeah, it's just Steppenwolf saying, all hail Darkseid or something like that. And it's like, oh, cool, they say Darkseid. But then you're just waiting for it.
He's going for Darkseid.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Basically the same thing.
Yeah, praising him.
And it's just you're waiting for it the next, the whole rest of the movie is when is there going to be another mention of Darkseid? When is there going to be a mention of Apocalypse or whatever? Nothing. I was so blue-balled by it. And I was hoping, when I found out that there were actual after-credit scenes, because, they don't really do that in DC.
No, not typically.
I think this is the first movie that they've done.
No, Suicide Squad had one.
Oh, did they?
I think, or not Man of Steel, but Batman vs. Superman had one, I think. I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember either. If they'd... Because I wasn't aware that they were doing that, because I thought they said... I thought they were releasing a comment that they were like, yeah, we're not doing after credit scene because that's Marvel's scene. Yeah. They wanted to kind of distinguish themselves from Marvel.
They had that, and I really enjoyed the after credit scene because you had that classic scene between Superman and Flash.
Who's faster? Yeah,
where they race each other. I remember watching that in the animated series.
Yeah,
That was a really cool. That was always a really cool moment.
That was a fun little Easter egg, and then they mentioned possibly the Injustice Society, or the Legion of Doom.
Yeah, which I'm guessing it's going to be the Legion of Doom.
I'm guessing it's the Injustice Society.
Really?
Just by the wording they used.
Okay.
But I would have much rather have seen like a scene from Apocalypse. Like if you're going to introduce Steppenwolf, you needed to show that he was there to maybe prep the world for Darkseid. They needed to show that more, and they didn't at all.
They kind of hinted towards it. Like they were like, "Oh, he's converting the world."
But it was seemingly more for his own agenda. Like, I'm the world conqueror. Like that's what he kept saying, and it's like, yeah, but you do it all in the name of Darkseid.
Yeah, and this was more like he's coming back for revenge to finish what he started, and two, reclaim his honor.
Yeah,
for what he lost the first time.
But I just wish they would have mentioned Darkseid more. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I wish I would have been like an Apocalypse scene, like what they showed like for Apocalypse, at the end of Days and Futures Past, where like he's like doing the pyramids.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they just show like, Apocalypse just, basically hell on a planet, and then the camera pans and like it pans to an over the shoulder shot of like Darkseid just looking out of it. And like you don't need to have him do like the Thanos thing where he looks at the camera and just smiles. Just have him stare over it and just look intense as fuck. Yep. And people are gonna be like, oh, like blow their load in their pants. Like I would have.
Yeah, for sure. So overall, what would you give this movie?
I'd give it either a C+ or a B-.
Okay.
I think like I said, it's taking a step in the right direction. I'm wondering maybe if it's a little too late though.
It could be.
Because I mean,
you could be right.
The box office numbers. I don't know if you've heard of the box office numbers.
It didn't even make its money back.
It's estimated to lose about $100 million.
Yeah. It cost $300 million to make. 1.5 of that was for a mustache to be removed. Mm-hmm. Great budgeting skills, guys.
Yep.
And then opening weekend, it only made like 94 mil.
Yeah, it was like 94 mil, 93, 94.
I mean, which is still a tremendous amount of money, but in terms of like how much CGI was used and all that.
I was watching the Fat Man Batman podcast with Kevin James.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, he's like, I don't even have fucking movies. None of my movies altogether have made $93 million. He's like, to me, that's, but for them, that's a failure.
It's like, fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like, I'm wondering maybe, like, is this where Warner Brothers looks at it and they go, we're pulling the plug?
Yeah. Which sucks because I would really like to see Flashpoint. I'd really like to see Deathstroke.
To me,
I guess Deathstroke's getting his own movie.
Really?
From what I understand.
I don't know if that's...
I'd like it. I'd like for him to still remain a villain while being kind of an anti-hero in his own movie.
See, that's one thing I'm worried about with Black Adam. They're turning him into an anti-hero.
Really?
He's a straight dictator.
I don't know anything about him, so...
I just... Quit turning all these villains to anti-heroes because of... I guess we'll just say Deadpool.
Yeah.
It's really kind of what it is.
He's not a villain, though.
He's not a villain. He's an anti-hero, but they're seeing the popularity of anti-heroes, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
And so they're like, who can we do that with? Oh, Black Adam. He's got a pretty sad story, kind of. Not really. But we can twist it.
Yeah, of course.
Deathstroke, who is Deadpool. Just Deadpool copied him. Mm-hmm. And then they improved him a little bit with powers.
Yeah, of course.
To me, I think Deathstroke's cooler. I know you're a big Deadpool guy.
Honestly,
I love Deathstroke.
I love Deadpool, but I think Deathstroke is definitely cooler. Mm-hmm. Deadpool's great for different reasons.
Yeah.
The fourth wall breaking.
As much as they're the same character, they're so different too.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. But Deathstroke, way fucking cooler. He's way more badass.
Yeah. But I don't know how I feel about them turning him into kind of like an anti-hero.
Like I said, I think it would just be for his own movie, not exactly for the actual where they're going with it. Obviously, he's going to be a villain, but for his own movie, if he's going to be a main character, he's obviously got to have some kind of reason for you to like him and for you to root for him. Mm-hmm.
Overall, which they did a good job in Arrow.
Yes. Mm-hmm. while still keeping him a villain.
Exactly.
Overall, I'd give Justice League a B plus.
Really, that high?
Well, because like I said, I enjoyed it, and I was really excited to see these characters, and I did. I got what I wanted out of the movie. It's just, it felt kind of lacking, but at the same time, I was like, you know what, it was a step in the right direction, as we keep saying, and yeah, I had a good time watching it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed watching it.
I did too.
So that's why I give it a B plus. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that.
Again though, I'm wondering though if it's a little too late.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I hope they don't pull the plug.
Unfortunately.
I really hope they don't, because they have the material there to make good stories. To me, they just picked the wrong director. And
yeah, Zack Snyder. Sorry, pal.
like, I loved your take on the Watchmen. Like, his take on the Watchmen graphic novel was excellent.
Yeah. But
And to be honest, I like his kind of end all solution more than the graphic novel, where the graphic novel is just this giant ass monster that the world unites behind to take out. They take out Dr. Manhattan. Like, I think that was a much more sinister plan than in the comic book.
I agree.
And again, Zack Snyder did an amazing job with that movie. But when I look at like Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and then the scenes you can definitely tell are directed by him in this movie, you're just like, where were you going with this? Like, I see your ideas, but you didn't execute them.
No. And same thing with Batman vs Superman. He executed everything very poorly. He used way too much of his typical fucking, I'm gonna slow-mo the hell out of this scene and like zoom super close up on something.
Zomo, Jesus symbolism.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I feel like with Superman, it's hard to not do a Jesus kind of parallel.
Man of Steel, it was great.
Yeah. Like, to me, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But like, you know, it's as Bruce getting like taken up by the bats and like the dreams at the very beginning of Batman v Superman, he's like, makes no sense.
Fuck off, Chris.
I really hope they keep going though. Maybe they give the helm to Josh Whedon, and with Flashpoint, he kind of reboots it.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Who knows? Speaking of Joss Whedon, going back to Marvel, before we started this, we watched the Avengers Infinity War trailer dropped, and we watched it. So the first time I listened to it, because Brandon was sitting across from me at lunch watching it, so I listened to it, and then of course it comes up on my news feed, so without sound I watch it, and then Tyler McLaughlin's sitting next to me, he watches it, so I listen to it again. I get home and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna actually watch it now, so I watch it, and then you get here and you're like, you hadn't watched it yet.
I'd seen it one time, but I was like, if we're gonna talk about it, I probably want to watch it again.
Yeah, so there was my next time watching it again. So let's, before we end this podcast, we're hitting 2 hours right now.
Hot damn.
Oh
god damn. Yeah, no, Infinity War looks good.
It looks excellent.
I'm not much of a Marvel fan as far as their films. I pretty much like the Captain America movies, which have kind of turned into Avengers movies.
Yeah, especially with Civil War.
Yeah, Winter Soldier was my favorite. Civil War, I was kind of like, eh. But Infinity War looks good. Thanos actually looks like a threat.
Yes.
And when you think about like who's in their lineup, who can handle, you know, Thanos, you're like, no one. Hulk maybe physically,
yeah.
Thor maybe physically.
Thor.
But like, you know, who's their leaders? Captain and Iron Man.
Yeah,
they're gonna get the shit beat out.
Oh yeah. So people are gonna die this movie. And this is gonna be 2 parts.
Yeah, and in the trailer, I mean, you see Iron Man kind of go up to Thanos, and Thanos just punches him in the helmet and knocks him out.
Yeah,
like, without the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, It's just a matter of
He
time.
He doesn't use his strong hand. He just fucking knocks him out with his fucking regular ass gauntletless hand.
Yeah.
And it just fucks him up.
So, like, I mean, Thanos... I thought Thanos kind of looked weak in the trailer as far as, like, the effects used on him.
Yeah, he doesn't have his helmet on, for one.
Yeah. But, like, the CGI overall for him kind of looks weird. If it even is CGI. Like, to me, it looked like CGI. He just looked off to me, and it wasn't because he wasn't wearing his helmet.
That's the only thing that bugged me about it. He was this bald motherfucker, this big pink bald dude. I didn't like that. I miss the helmet. Mm-hmm. Otherwise,
I think it's his coloration. I'm thinking like he needs to be like a little bit darker.
Yeah.
Captain America looks fucking cool with a beard.
Oh yeah, like I said, he gained like with that beard, he probably punches like 18 times harder.
+3 strength.
+3.
But I think that's a cool thing because Cap's been in hiding since Civil War. So I think that shows like hey, this is a big threat. We got to put our shit aside and get together again. I think it'll be good. I'll go see it.
Oh hell yeah!
I don't really know what else to say.
You bet your ass I'll go see it. I'm completely current with all the movies. So.
Yeah, I'm not. I need to catch up.
Have you seen Spider-Man?
Yes, I saw Homecoming. I wanted to see Homecoming bad.
Good.
So I saw Homecoming. I loved Homecoming. I haven't seen Doctor Strange. I haven't seen Thor Ragnarok.
You would really like Doctor Strange.
See, that's what I hear, but at the same time, when I saw the trailer, I'm just like, dude, that looks like shit.
No, you particularly, I believe, would love Doctor Strange, and you don't have to watch any of the others to really get that movie, unless you don't know what an Infinity Stone is.
I know all that.
Okay, cool.
I haven't seen Guardians 2. I need to see that.
Not entirely necessary.
Really?
For the whole story.
Because it isn't like they're part of like what are they called? Crusaders, I want to say, for Marvel.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I can't remember what they're called. They're basically like the people that Thanos doesn't like, though. I
mean, honestly, from what I remember of Guardians 2, which I really liked Guardians 2, it was more just like a character piece for all the characters in that universe.
Okay.
So I mean, there's no Infinity Stone talk. There's no. I don't even remember the after credits scenes, if they had anything to do with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Except for no. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They kind of there's some stuff in it that would lead to Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like all the movies that I like, all the like Marvel movies I hadn't seen, and I'm pretty sure it started off with Thor: The Dark World. And I'm like, what other ones have I not seen since then? And it's like, I can't even remember because there's just so many at this point too.
Yeah. It's a very thick universe.
It is, and that's one thing Marvel's done really good is they're like live action. Their cinematic universe is so well put together as far as like story arcs. Each character gets their own actual story. I had this issue after the first Avengers came out. It was when Iron Man 3 was out. And I remember you were and like a few other people we know were all like, "Oh, go see it." And I watched it. I was like, "That movie
it wasn't that great.
That movie sucked." Everybody was like, "It's so good."
Overall, it was like even at the time, like I liked it, but like, there wasn't their only real good Iron Man movie was the first one.
Mm-hmm. But the entire time I'm watching like Iron Man 3, he's dealing with a Mandarin. These are like terrorist threats. I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is like Captain America and shit? Why aren't they helping Tony?
Yeah, right.
And that's why I feel like the Captain movies are really good because they explain why he's not getting help. Like Winter Soldier especially, because he's a fugitive now. Like I think it's same with
Shield is Hydra.
Yeah, Shield is Hydra. They're like, hey, we gotta fucking kill Cap. So yeah, Marvel's done a good job explaining that kind of stuff in their recent movies.
Yeah,
I think they struggled with the first Avengers movie or first movies after the Avengers of how to explain why the Avengers aren't dealing with this instead of just like this one person. I'm excited for the next Hulk movie.
Is there going to be another Hulk
That's
movie?
what I heard.
I haven't heard anything about that.
I heard there will be a Hulk sequel. Finally. After how many years from the Edward Norton one, we are going to get a Hulk movie.
It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years since Ed Norton since he hulked out.
Yeah.
And faced Abomination.
Yeah, so, which was one of my favorite Marvel movies. And I cannot wait for that if they do that. I hope they do.
It'd be really cool. Well, because they were thinking they were going to go the Planet Hulk route.
Yeah, I heard that, and that kind of turned into Thor Ragnarok.
It did. So they kind of combined the two, and it was heavily influenced by Planet Hulk, definitely, and to an extent, it was a Planet Hulk because everybody was spoilers for you.
I don't care. Go ahead.
So they had this arena thing, you know.
Yeah, it was like a gladiator kind of arena,
and everybody is like obsessed and rooting for the Hulk, and like he's the champion, and nobody can beat him, and everybody's rooting for him. So, like in a sense, it is a Planet Hulk.
Yeah,
everybody like worships him. But
when I think of Planet Hulk, I just think of the Justice League with Mongol. I don't know if you've seen that episode.
Nope.
It's one of the kind of the Superman episodes, and he deals with basically a war world. Okay. And the main villain is called Mongol. He's pretty badass.
Okay.
So, watch Justice League, the animated series.
I'll try.
So good.
Once I'm done with Punisher, which I'm only 4 episodes away. I'm on episode 10.
Oh my god, I love it.
As soon as I'm done with that, I'm gonna start catching up on Supergirl. So I can be current with that, and then I've been told I really, really need to get caught up on Gotham.
I pretty much refuse to watch Gotham.
From what I've heard, the first season's meh, but everything after is just awesome. It's really good.
It's just the stories are so, like, off to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, why is the Joker in the show? Batman isn't even a thing right now.
Yeah, he's a kid. Like, Joker's just like a teenager.
Yeah. I don't like that.
played by Ian Gallagher.
Yep. I love Shameless so much.
Oh yeah, Shameless is great. I can't wait till season 8's on Netflix.
Yeah, same here.
I mean, I can watch it right now if I want to, but I got so many shows going on.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no.
Yep.
I'll wait and binge it.
But yeah, Justice League, good movie. Watch it. Punisher, watch it.
Infinity War trailer, watch it.
Yeah, Infinity War trailer, watch it.
Star Wars is right around the corner.
Star Wars, oh my gosh.
Around the corner. We're not going to get into it.
Nope.
But
maybe next week. Who knows?
Maybe.
But yeah, I hope they keep going. I really do.
DC.
Mm-hmm.
I do too. I'll keep watching them no matter how terrible they are.
Exactly. Come on, Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Fix her all.
Flashpoint. Even if it doesn't fix anything and that's just where they end it, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. No,
I'd be
I would
very
too.
happy with that.
Watch Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I loved Wonder Woman.
Oh, I thought you said you hadn't seen it.
No, I loved it. I own it.
It's so good.
Watch
Wonder Woman.
Watch Wonder Woman.
It's so good.
Well, Matt, if that's all, I think that's all.
I think that's it.
I think we covered Justice League really well. We covered everything really well today. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
I mean, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I try and post. I don't post too often.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but
it's been a while because I don't really. My setup is a little bit off right now, so I'm still working on that. But when I finally get my setup all set up right,
yeah.
Whenever I get my rig all going and my system can handle everything, then I'll try to start posting more. I'll try to start doing some Twitch streams. Definitely want to start posting some more Roommates episodes.
Definitely.
That's what I really want to start doing more of.
Speaking of your channel, so you played Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played the DLC?
I actually got rid of my Horizon. I never beat the game. I couldn't get into it.
That breaks my heart.
I know. I like at first when I was playing, I was like, "This is kind of cool," and then as I kept playing, I'm just like,
easily one of my all-time favorite games at this point.
I know. I mean,
and the DLC just kept that going.
I heard it. When it came out, it's like, oh, this is game of the year. But I mean, so many games have come out. You know, Mario Odyssey apparently is like perfect scores.
Yeah.
And then, Legend of Zelda was really popular.
Yep.
Nintendo stepped up their game this year with the Switch.
They did.
Still
not getting one, but
I'll get one when Pokemon comes on it.
Maybe.
That's probably when I'll get it.
See, my plan was to get one because I figured, they're going to bring Monster Hunter to it.
Mm-hmm.
But then
isn't that now like PS4?
Yeah, they announced the newest Monster Hunter for PS4, Xbox, and PC. I'm like, oh fuck the Switch.
Fuck the Switch, yeah.
I'm staying with the consoles I already have.
Yeah.
Playing on a real fucking console.
Yeah.
But
yeah. But yeah, I mean, subscribe to my channel. Again, I'm gonna try posting some more stuff soon.
And that's Naderzim.
And Naderzim, not with the V.
Just Nader.
Yep.
Nader.
Yeah, I just do games. I do some reviews of some stuff every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much it's just random stuff. I'm going to try to start branching out my content a little bit more. I'd like to do movie reviews. I love movies.
Yeah.
So I might try to start doing some stuff like that with Felipe and maybe a couple other people I know up there. So yeah, subscribe, comment, let me know what you actually want to see, because like if I put stuff on the channel you don't want to watch, obviously doesn't really benefit me any.
No.
So let me know what you guys want to see.
I think you would be sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead, buddy.
I feel like you'd be a really good guest on Foodies Watching Movies.
Yeah.
And that's they're up by you. They're in Hammond.
Really?
Yeah. So it's Nate Phillips, Veronica Evans, and Lauren Million and Andrew Poor. They're all part of the network, and they have that Foodies Watching Movies where they eat a meal. But they talk about movies.
Yeah.
that's the whole point.
The whole point of it, yeah.
And you're a really big movie guy.
I love movies.
So I feel like that'd be awesome for you.
If I had a dream job, it would be to write scripts for movies.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Hire me, Warner Brothers. I'll write you a good Superman movie.
Nate Phillips. Get Matt on Foodies. Hit him up.
I'm on Facebook.
He's on Facebook.
Yeah. Like I said, dude, like anytime like you want me on a podcast, or if you just want to come up, let me know, buddy. And we'll do it. I'm pretty open whenever.
Hell yeah, dude.
But yeah, I think we're good.
Sweet.
I think we've pretty much run our course on this podcast, yeah.
Oh, definitely. 2 hours 12 minutes.
Yep, so
fuck this. All right. Everybody, please make every day. Do this for me, please. Just please. Make every day a big dick day. Bye, guys.
Woke up this morning with my dick in my hand. Girlie's to the right of me, just like our plan. It's gonna be a big dick day. It's gonna be a big dick day. It's gonna be